Hello.
Good afternoon, Wooly, and hello to all of the listeners and viewers listening this week. I'm well aware that a significant proportion of you guys don't know nothing about fighting games, and your brain turns to mush when we talk about them. Unfortunately, this is one of those weeks in which your brain is gonna go right to mush.
I think we've given that disclaimer a couple times now, so I think they've
I
been,
know it's fun though.
yeah, I think they've been conditioned
It's
to
it's fun.
just be like, all right, whether it's that or like 14 talk or other topics that are just gonna go somewhere where they're like, I'm gonna mentally check out. Like, we've
Oh no,
conditioned them.
nobody would check out a Final Fantasy 14, especially not with the free trial up to level 60, which includes the critically acclaimed Heavensward expansion.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Street Fighter 6 is good.
Hmm.
That's the takeaway from the weekend.
I mean, thank God.
Is that Street is yeah. Uh, so I look back at Street Fighter 5 when we messed around with the beta on that, and we made the what felt like the right decision at the time to be like, who cares about all that extra stuff? Just get the game out into people's hands. I want it now.
Hmm.
That might be long term the stupidest take you and I have ever had together. That was like so fucking dead wrong that
Well,
I scarcely believe it now.
Well, it turns out it's not that it turns out. I mean, it's been this way for a while, but like the changing of the attention and like the amount of people basically from 2009 forward, it's unpredictable how many people are going to show up when a new fighting game drops. You never quite knew
Right.
what that was going to be, and your hopes was that it would just be bigger than the last time. And how many of
Hmm.
those people that do show up, how many of them are looking to just like get some sets and grind, and how many people are looking to kind of have a full immersive story and experience with it. And obviously that second category is going to grow over time. Um, and I don't think we ever wanted a bare bones Street Fighter to drop. Certainly
No, but
not.
it was like you can add all that extra shit later. You just get it out as soon as possible so people can
People can
play it
play it.
and everybody have fun and play it.
Hmm. Hmm. No, all the extra stuff will be a very, very welcome distraction to just running around and doing whatever it can to like get you in that world, play dress up, and it'll be a big old like immersive metaverse thing that I don't know how much it'll take for you to complete finding everything in it to 100% it,
Hmm.
but there's enough enjoyment coming around from people making their horrible monsters and
It
crawling around the lobby.
crawl is the right word. I was so we obviously played the beta, the closed beta over the weekend, and it is. I feel like the beta is an incredibly representative um, showcase of expectation. So the Street Fighter V closed beta, or that beta period was a play match button essentially,
Hmm.
right? It was, do you want to do the fighting game? And then the first time, the answer it gave back to you was no, you're not allowed. So already hugely better than that Street Fighter V beta, that first one where it just literally didn't do a goddamn thing. The second of which is that not only was there, hey, do you want to play the video game? There was, do you want to make your character with a wildly over complex character creator?
As
Like
somebody who
way,
judges character creators constantly and tells you about like like the joke of like how black people friendly it is, it's like
yeah.
we're entering a realm of character creators like this which are on the tier of Black Desert, where it's like,
Mhm.
no, not only can you make any human being,
You can
um
make non-humans.
yes, you can make weird fucking what's his name, the fly,
fucking Goldblums.
Not Goldblum, but
You
the
Cronenbergs.
Kronenbergs. You can make disgusting Kronenbergs and just have them slurking and slouching about the lobby, and you're just looking around for your fucking Dead Space weapons to cut them up because, dear God, what is that?
Right? So we you roll in with that, and then I get into a match, and the first match I had, I think, was against somebody with a custom, like here comes a new challenger, like custom art
Yes,
for the
customized
character that they had
challenges.
unlocked. Ability to dress up your freak in any which way you want. I saw people run around with TV heads. I saw one guy that had like knockoff Beats headphones
Mm-hmm.
that had been enlarged to
Mm-hmm.
larger than his character.
I saw that guy, and I saw somebody
Um,
who had the cat paws on, but they were just floating next to them like Ramlethal's knives. So this is the ability to do all the wild, stupid things from the create a character in Soul Calibur, but also with just again no limitations on what you can do to the human form. It's kind of
so
gross and horrible.
so this is already at a high level, and then I want to run around, and I get to one of their working arcade games. I forget what it was called. I want to say it's like Hyper Beast or something. It was a piece of shit,
Magic Sword,
but
probably.
yeah, Magic Sword. Yeah, okay, it's working. It's
Hmm.
doing well.
Hmm.
I walk up to a cabinet. The lobby system is like really interesting of this giant cabinet, and it really does feel like it emulates what Guilty Gear was trying to do,
Right, right.
which was
People
walking around an arcade.
we walk. Yes, yes. Which ArcSys has been pretty good at the walking around an arcade thing before Strive, mind you.
Hmm.
In previous games, they had you with a cabinet, but here they wanted to get a little creative with the sword thing and just lost it. But in six, you're actually standing around an arcade and lining up to it. I excuse me.
Bless you.
I just want to put out there that if this is what we're seeing of the early weird proportioned humans, I,
Oh,
I
I can't wait.
I suspect that what we're going to get come launch time with a full raw access to the accessories, we're going to get people shaped like real SpongeBob and real Stimpy, you
I
know,
want.
like flesh bags that'll actually look like a car made up of meat flesh.
Yeah, no. For me, the it's like,
Mater.
can your character creator create a dodecahedron? And if so, incredible, kudos. So you do all that, and then I walked into training mode and noticed the training mode has um 10 pages of options. Just
So
you, I know you spent more time in training mode than I did. Tell me about this, because I'm going through like toggles that I don't understand.
So
There's so many.
as I explained it to Reggie, it's the single best training mode that's ever been in a fighting game, and this is unqualified, bar none. Um, the introduction of a number of features just brings it to another level. It has every features that should be there, right? So all the things you would expect of, you know, setting the dummy to do what you want, setting your bars to do what they want, and then the other
Hmm.
things that the quality of life additions that Street Fighter V got over time to their training mode included reversal training. So practicing when somebody does like a wake up Shoryuken, or against your own version of that, or against
Hmm.
after a block and things like that. You can make a series of actions happen. So that's all really nice. But then they have a simple training page, which is the first thing you get brought to. And there's a message that says, whoa, there's way too many options in this for the beginner to understand. And we get that. So before looking at any of that, why not take a look at the simple training page? And these are a collection of scenarios that have been preset for you, and they will allow you to practice a specific thing to help you get better. And it's like about 8 or so different listed categories, and the first one is combo training. And then the moment you click combo training, it resets all the configurations, the buttons and the loadout and the training buttons things to just be you are standing there, try to do a combo, and if you're successful, it'll show you the move being successfully done in the bottom. If you drop it, the character will start blocking, and as soon as you drop it, all your Mars refill and the situation resets. So done. This is what you want. Okay, now let's say you want to work on anti-air. You select anti-air training, and then it brings up a little thing that says, "Okay, here Ryu will now be in the game, and he'll jump every once in a while, and occasionally he'll jump forward towards you and attack. Try to hit him out of the air, right? And this is what you can use for that." And then it'll be like, if you want, you can then go into the replay tab and turn on more actions, so that he gets a little bit harder to predict, and it just sets it up for you. And each of those individual pages will let you just get a configuration of training for a specific thing you want to practice that day. And that was incredible. I've never seen that done in a training mode before. And then finally, the ultimate thing is the ability to save the state that the training mode is in to one of three slots. And then you can go back to that slot and load it back, and it'll load that state. Now, it won't load the character or the stage, but positioning and all other options are retained. So 3 save states for your training mode as well, just for making your life easier.
The save state thing, so I did not realize that was there until it was over. Until the beta had ended. I was looking at videos this morning, and I saw people messing around with Jamie and Chun-Li. And the thing with Jamie and Chun-Li is they both have relatively extensive follow-ups off of their supers, because they can do I don't know what the drive dash or the
drive
it's like an FADC drive rush. They can do drive rushes out of their own supers. And I saw a guy go into training mode, do Jamie's level 3 super, and then right before he does the double kick to knock the guy out of the air, he hit pause, saved the state, and then started labbing 1 second after the hit to try every conceivable follow-up. And I was doing that for a half an hour earlier in the day, the hard way, and it was infuriating. It took forever. His super's really long.
So
and I gave up after a couple of minutes because it was like,
the end of Street Fighter V had those types of things added as well. Yeah. So thankfully, what we saw over the course of that game's quality of life improvements directly came here, and then they added some save states in training mode. Fucking brilliant idea, and made easier when your game is fully rollback supported as well, because the ability to when your game is now running on rollback, it gives you access to fucking with the timeline of a game, jumping in, jumping out, speeding up, and possibly even in the future, hopefully, the thing where you can watch a replay, pause it, and then take control. That'd be really cool as well. But anyway,
so
the best training mode.
Yeah, you go in, there's the character creator, there's the custom shit, there's the items, there's the arcade games that are just whatever, there's the cool layout, there's sitting down at the desk into this incredible training mode. And then I played a couple hundred matches, and I had 2 bad ones. The rest were excellent. The only matches I had that I would clarify as average but still good were against a guy from New Zealand.
Okay. I had a couple of bad matches. Not a crazy amount, but I had at least 10 ones where it was shit, Now here's the thing. New feature has been added to the game.
Wooly, what happens if you have a really bad connection and you're like, oh, this sucks, I don't want to do this?
They've figured out something that I don't know why it's taken this long to implement, but if you hold start when you're playing a match, I guess if it doesn't always appear, so it might only be during a spotty connection, a prompt will say hold start to ask for no contest. And what that means is you say, hey, I don't want to rage quit, but I want to drop out of this match because I don't think we're going to enjoy it. And they can then reply and press start on their side, and then both of you can drop out of the match willingly.
No penalty.
No penalty. Yeah. Now, if they're a dick and they're like, fuck you, no, man, this is how I play all my games, then you're not going to get a better situation out of it. But providing that the person does acknowledge the problem, you can get away. So this is going to help some of those situations where the person you're fighting is not a horrible monster.
I also did some digging and found some people talking about the way ranked play works in the beta,
Hmm.
which is probably very similar. So, what might be the most fascinating thing I've ever seen is that they just ask you, "Hey, dude, what tier do you want to do your placement matches in?"
Hmm.
They
Yeah.
go, "Are you a baby? Are you an expert? Are you kind of a bigger baby? Or are you kind of a shitty expert?" And just allow you to choose where your placement matches go.
So that's quality of life rolling down from DNF Duel, where you would choose which one of the three starting points you wanted, and then you would find out very quickly whether or not you placed yourself accurately.
Yeah.
Something interesting too, of course, is that each rule, as broken down in the rookie, bronze, silver, gold, diamond, and then master classes, each
Hmm.
league has its own set of rules that change drastically. So as you start out as a rookie, you go from a place where you don't get down demoted. You
Hmm.
only get up promoted, and then when you enter into the upper classes of the irons, you end up getting it's some interesting stuff described. Like for example, you do get class demotions, but you have one protection against a demotion. So if you get down demoted
That's cute.
once, it'll give you a one protection against it. So like little things like that, where it's like okay, like we're doing a ranked system, but we're putting a little bit of a stank on it, a little bit of fun on it, and then all of it basically is conceding the idea that once you get good enough and you get to master, it's just unfettered ranked play. But
Yeah.
before you get to master, just have fun with it. So put
Hmm.
these little extra things in there for people to like enjoy the ride.
I was playing. I'm West Coast now, so I'm playing mostly North America, and I was getting matches that ranged from 120 to 200 on average in terms of ping. Which, first of all, man, got the ping right up there at the top of the fucking screen.
Mm-hmm.
Got the rollback frames right up there at the top. I hope they keep that. That's
you
great.
you can turn it on or off because
Oh,
when you go to
oh,
the
seriously?
display settings are through the roof, accessibility through the roof. When you go check out what's going on in those extra options, you can turn off not just life bars and supers, but like online ranked information. Or if you just specifically want to turn off your ranking so that you're not stressed out by that, or any other
Mm-hmm.
little piece of data on the screen that you don't want to be there, you can custom trim it to be like, yeah, get rid of that. Um, Show
Character
what you want,
specific
hide it.
rankings are back.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the worst things about SF5 is that I would go on like I'm not playing Geef and I'm not playing Abigail today. I would like to play Ryu. Well, I'm not playing fucking Ryu in ranked today because I am getting smoked by people who have now been tuned to my
Geef,
Abigail or my
yeah,
Geef.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
So
there's no way.
in unique profile for each character as well, including control set. So if you wanted to do someone in modern style, you could. Um, that's quite interesting. I'm
That was
curious.
fascinating to me that you could do that by character.
Mm-hmm. So the first day, people were trying to figure out how to switch their modern controls off because it was on by default. And I did go in and try it for a second, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting. This is absolutely going to make a lot of people happy."
Yeah.
But then there's another post I saw where it's like, "Yo, people are getting upset about the modern control scheme, and they're not even ready for the third control
Hidden
scheme
control scheme.
that's coming in the final launch version of the game." And
The one that has auto combo in it.
exactly. There's a third one coming that's called Dynamic, and that one is your buttons will change according to the situation you're in. You know, it is a full on like, yo, we're gonna kind of fight for you. You don't get a ton of control here. Scream. You know. So they're really trying to just give it to whoever wants to have it. I
Hmm.
didn't fight anybody in the ranked matches when I was on Classic that was not on Classic. So I also wonder if they're pairing people up on control schemes with each
It
other.
might be.
That could be a thing.
Um, yeah, the net code was excellent. Like, probably, let me think. it was probably the best experience I've had with netcode of any game to date, in that the quality of the matches is about as good as Strive, which is excellent, like A or A minus. Um,
The design philosophy that they took into this game as well, which people have wanted for years, is one of we are wasting no time. The level threes might take your time, but the win quotes and the intros will be the fastest out of your hair shit ever. And rematches, just get right the fuck to it. They
I
want you to
couldn't.
be able to just jump back in.
Yeah. So if Strive and this have the same level of quality net code in terms of actually playing it, I'd say they're about the same. I would have been able to play like three Street Fighter Six matches in the same amount of time I could play one Strive match. Like rematch is not rematch is like within 60 frames of hitting the button. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's immediate.
Mm-hmm.
There's no intro. You're just like everyone skips it every time. You're just immediately back into round one start.
And even if you do watch
Sitting
the intro, it's 3 seconds. You know.
Yes, sitting down at the actual table is like 2 seconds, and then you just get in within one. Because I played it on the PS5 because of the load time. Like it's so fucking fast
Mm-hmm.
compared to Strive, where I'm standing there and I'm fucking throwing my golf club or whatever, and then the fucking guy comes over and golf clubs me, and then it goes. The bird flies out the fucking window before I can mash through it, and then the intros start to play before I can mash through it and decide
Yeah.
the destiny before I can mash through it.
Yeah, they I feel like they basically had a decision to make because there was towards the end of Street Fighter 4 and 5 there was like and a lot of other games too. There's complaints about when supers take too long when they hit you. They're too cinematic and people who
Yeah,
are competitive are seeing them all the time. So they're like, we should speed these up. But I kind of think they made a decision to go, let's not do that. Let's keep those cinematic because those are hype for people to watch. But absolutely everything else in the game should take place in under 2 seconds.
I think that also keeping the supers at 3 to 5 seconds is I mean, it has an effect, and the effect is that if I'm like neutral jumping into like hard into fierce, right, into the low fierce into the combo, and I get to level three, I now at least have like 4 or 5 seconds to fucking relax my asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
animation is playing,
Mm-hmm.
it's time for everyone to take a fucking
Take a
breather
little breather. Yeah, that's true.
and
That's
just
true.
reset the situation.
Um, it's interesting too how they wanted to keep focus attack dash cancels from Street Fighter 4, but they didn't want them to be too easy. So
Hmm.
in Street Fighter 4, you had to do like Shoryuken and then press two mediums to do your focus attack and then immediately forward to cancel and that and like you do all that like into your ultra, right?
Hmm.
Here they're like, okay, take the extra buttons out of the equation. You can just tap forward after certain things, and you'll do that special dash cancel where you
Wait,
glow
are
green.
you serious?
Yeah,
You don't have to hit
two
medium
mediums.
and are
No,
you fucking serious? Oh my god.
it's not. You don't have to
Oh
do two
my
mediums.
oh my god. That would explain why everyone else is doing them so consistently.
But
Holy shit.
well, okay. So for starters, yeah, if you're doing that extra input, then you didn't have to. Um,
Yeah.
However, something important to note is they've made it way stricter on how fast you have to do it in
Yeah,
exchange.
that's fine.
You
I'm
know?
doing a whole extra fucking input.
Yeah. So that's the thing is when I went to go test it out, I was like, oh, it's like as fast dash as fast as you possibly can. Anything less than the fastest possible dash will not cause it to come out.
So I was doing it with the extra input, so pardon obviously my feeling about it, but my impression was that yeah, it had to be faster, and that the impression was that they don't want you confirming stuff into the dash. The dash has been decided
Yes.
whether or not you hit or not, and if
Yes.
you hit and it sorry if it gets blocked, you're now dashing into grab block string
100.
something.
You must commit before you see the outcome. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Now you still have to do it with the parry input from neutral,
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes
right?
sense.
However, you can do it by tapping forward and then forward and parry, and then you don't lose that extra little amount of drive gauge from
Mm-hmm.
starting the parry out and then canceling it. It just takes one pip instead.
The other thing, we should explain this for people that don't have the visual in their heads. So you hold down both mediums in Street Fighter 6 to enter a parryable state. There's auto parry kind of
Hmm.
by holding it, and
Yeah, it's
parry.
all, like faultless defense and Guilty Gear. It just lets you stand there and parry everything coming at you.
It's like I need to shut this defense down. I need to help. You can perfect parry it, which gives you like 5 to 10 seconds of full screen freeze,
Hmm.
which is the funniest thing in the world. It's generous even by my standards of reactable input.
But you know what's interesting
But
about that though? During
what's
that
that?
standing still, after you do the big parry, you can block.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah, all right.
You can't do
I don't
anything
have the
else.
confidence. I don't have the confidence to continue to do
Anything else,
the remaining parries. Okay,
but you can block.
okay. Um, so and then you have like Willie was talking. If you hit with a special cancelable normal, so like everybody's like low medium punch, for example, or almost everybody, you can dash forward, and you can also hold parry and dash forward out of it for a really fast dash forward. And it took me a while to intuit this because I barely spent any time in the lab. But what I did discover is that everything coming out of that dash is way better
Mm-hmm.
than its normal state.
Mm-hmm.
Overheads that I hit coming out of it were suddenly comboable
Mm-hmm.
into afterwards. Um, Unsafe moves were now safe
Yes.
after coming out of it.
So what's happening on a technical level there is you come there's now everyone has the ability to go flying across the screen almost like a super dash in Dragon Ball, and
Or like a
everything.
goddamn fucking run button in Mortal Kombat. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy.
and everything you do from that green glowing dash is plus 4 frames. So
Okay,
you
that makes
get,
sense.
yeah, whatever button you press will be way safer when you do it with that dash. And that's a universal thing. This is crazy though because like this brings us as well to a part that the joke we've made for a long time has been, oh my god, frame data, like the final frontier of being impossible to
Hmm.
understand with fighting game technology, right? Numbers and math and shit. And
Right.
then this game comes along and makes it as complicated as it possibly can. Because to explain this as simply as possible, in every fighting game, generally, whatever your buttons do,
Hmm.
there's like the punch I do to you when you block it, it'll leave me this at this much advantage, or this negative, and if I hit you, then it's the opposite. It'll be a different thing, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. But in this game, if you throw that little dash we're talking about on it, those numbers change, right?
Yeah.
But if you're in burnout because you've used all of your drive meter
And you're gray and
and you're gray
shitty,
and
and
you're
your character
tired,
is like, don't
fatigued,
hurt me.
those numbers change again.
Oh,
So everything you do is extra slow when you're
so
burnt out.
okay, so that's what I was feeling. Okay,
So there are things where you're like, it should be my turn to punish this, but it's not
but
because
it's
you're
not.
extra slow.
Yeah.
So
So my
so one normal
uh,
exchange, right, can become
mhm.
modified by either you making it faster or them being more fucked up for it to become slower. And on top of that, there's the new punish counter system, which is when you're left wide open after a big special attack and you hit someone right there.
Yeah.
It adds a whole other extra amount of frame advantage as well. And what this means is everything. There's 9 different sets of frames data that you can
Yeah.
learn about.
However, that's a lot of raw data. However, as somebody who doesn't generally dive into frame data ever, it is intuitive. you can feel it. When I was playing Jamie or Guile, and I would do the drive rush into the overhead, and the overhead would be blocked, I noticed, yeah, no one can touch me. It's been made so much safer by the drive rush
Mm-hmm.
that nothing is going to be able to come out fast enough to hit me.
Whereas usually
And
you would be vulnerable. Yeah.
absolutely, the other way around is I would do stuff that I'm in burnout, in which like this is safe, and now it's not
Yes. Yes.
anymore. So even
Y-
even at like the babyest, most beginner level, you can mentally intuit it as more or less safe on
mm-hmm.
everything based
Yeah.
on, is it flashing green or are you gray?
If I'm using the rush, then it's faster, and if I'm grayed out, then it's slower.
Yeah.
And this kind of leads to the final lesson in that simple training menu. So, of all the little simple training options, the bottom one is literally called the frame meter and you. And you click it, and it's like, the game is like, okay, guys, let's talk about it. Frame data. It's complicated. It's really intimidating because it's numbers and what is happening, but we
Mm-hmm.
can learn it, and we're going to put something in this game to help you learn it. And it shows you what it is, and it shows you the bar, and it shows you that every attack in the game will have like some information about how fast it started, how active it stayed, like it could hit you, and then how slow it is on its recovery. And then like
Mm-hmm.
it shows you the numbers of each one of those things, and then it kind of goes, you can look at this and learn a bit more and stuff. And then they explain it to, step by step, so that you can step in and not be super intimidated by it. They do a great job with that. And then the last sentence, it's this paragraph, and it's so well written, and it's something that effectively says like, um, none of this is necessary for you to enjoy the game. Assuredly, learning about when it's safe to counterattack versus when you should block against certain things would make you a better player.
Yeah, so even a total beginner who is kind like barely grasping the feeling of it and is just looking like, oh, if I do a medium punch, then I have this amount of recovery, because it's visual. You don't even need to read the numbers, right? You
Mm-hmm.
can just look at it visually.
Mm-hmm.
The new player can discover that sweeps aren't safe.
Yeah. The first thing, that's the first piece of frame data every fighting game player learns, is when someone sweeps you and you block it, you get to sweep them back. That is day zero, a frame data lesson, you know.
Hmm.
Um, and then yeah, so this game actually takes the effort to try and introduce it to you in a manner that is like, hey, if you want to, here it is,
Hmm.
and this is so good. And now we're getting into a whole other thing. The accessibility options I mentioned before, they have a giant page dedicated towards audio cues, because there are players who are hearing that are
Vision impaired.
impaired. Yeah, hearing impaired and
Vision impaired.
vision impaired, and
AKA occasionally like fucking legitimately completely blind.
and there are players who play fighting games without looking, and they use the sound of what's happening on the screen to contextualize what to do. It's
Too
amazing.
high level for me.
It's
I
amazing.
don't fucking get it.
And what you can do is you can turn on sound effects that make it so that when you get hit with a light, medium, heavy attack, they all sound distinct and different. You can make it so that when you get hit with a cross up, there's a unique noise for that too. And as someone approaches you, you can have the footsteps sound a little different. So there are unique things to make the game give you more information, audio cue wise, about what's happening. And
There's also a button in the default control menu that I saw,
yeah,
which was mapped to the touchpad, which is play all sounds or something. I couldn't figure out what the hell it was supposed to
yeah,
do.
I tried it out and I couldn't figure it out either in game. But the options are there to turn on permanently. And it's kind of incredible because you can use that if you wanted, like if you were not, if you just wanted to turn those options on yourself, for learning the game better, you could. You would, because there's a thing that happens to me a lot, which is when I don't know characters in a game and I don't know what they're using against me, I'm like, is that a medium or a heavy punch that I got hit by? I don't know, because I don't know that character too well.
It's not always fully understandable from the visuals. Like Jamie has some like heavies that are like really short,
He's
and
got that
I
big
wouldn't,
knee.
yeah, I wouldn't think that that's a heavy necessarily just by looking at it.
Exactly. So I'm like, what was that knee, right? And it's like, so you could use the sounds to kind of do that and help you figure that out. Help and all these little things are just like really fucking amazing quality of life additions, you know. So that was a ton of fun, man. That's good.
You know, I want one of the things. I don't know if Five had it. I don't think it did, but correct me if I'm wrong. Something that I saw in that controller menu, which was blasphemous to me. I could not believe it. But it's the first time in a game I've actually seen the phrase negative edge typed out
Yes.
in the game.
Yes.
Because you can turn it off.
Yes.
I'm like,
it used to just be called the release check option. And for those who don't know, what that is when you press down a button, you can have it so that the punch will come out when you press it, or you can have it so that the punch comes out when you release the button. And that'll, depending on your style, give you... Some people like that on, because you can do things like, let's say you can't get a perfectly timed Shoryuken, like me, for example. You want to try doing a tap that gives you an attempt on the Shoryuken when you first touch it, and then a second attempt when you release it. And so, like, if you get... That's how you used to be back in Street Fighter 2. And so that's what it's good for, you know? Yeah, negative edge is in the game as an option you can turn on there as well.
It's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
No, just what a incredible, like, strong foot forward as a first impression.
GG's.
Mm-hmm.
And
so I think it's really... So for those of you who don't know, me and Wooly played a couple sets over the beta, which always goes the same way. Like literally every single time there's a fighting game I'm interested in, it happens. I text him and go, "Fight me, bitch! You have no balls." And he says something to the equivalent of, "The only time you want to do these sets is like day 0 or less." And I go, "Yeah, no balls." And then we play, and then I win those sets, and then we never, ever fight again. And then I just retire as the ultimate victor. I was looking up at a great Core 8 gaming video right before this because I wanted to refamiliarize myself with Laugh's theory of the 3 types of players. In that there is the mind player, the heart player, and the body player. The mind player is the lab monster who wants to find out the solution to every interaction. The body player is the execution freak who wants to get every possible like advantage they have and push it to the maximum. And then there's the heart player who is just running their opponent or the feel or vibes. And as a result of you being a long-term, decades dedicated mind player who spent a ton of that stream in the lab, and me not even bothering to figure out how to dash out of one of the game's primary mechanics, but I've been playing fighting games against you for 20 years. Yeah, no shit, I took those early sets. Especially when I was playing, like, the Jamie sets were pretty close. Those could have gone either way. But the Guile sets, dude, Guile's Guile. Guile is Guile, and has been Guile since 93 or 94.
You know who else has been themselves since 94?
Ryu?
Wooly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, that is an interesting thing with the different types of players, because what made me become that kind of player, because I used to just be all heart and just roll with it, and I that's how I came to love fighting games. I mean, it was just
back
feeling...
in the day, who's gonna throw 2 raw supers in a row? Who would ever throw 2 corkscrew blows in a row?
Yeah. Our Gato versus Dong Juan matches
Yeah, that
in
was the
Mark of
same
the
fucking
Wolves.
match every single
Where it's
goddamn
just like,
time.
okay, can we do this in our heads at this point? Yes, yes, we can.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, you won. You won this one.
but
You won.
but the what I learned though was like when I started like going to tournaments and shit like that, my heart
Mm,
hit a wall that I
yeah,
couldn't overcome because the people that I was fighting, they were figuring out my heart too quickly, too instantly. They're just like,
yeah.
yes, yes, blank a ball. Yes, yes, up ball. Yes, yes, electricity. What the fuck else you got? And I went, oh no. Right? And then the only thing that got me out of that slump was to literally go into the training mode and go, damn it, okay, hold on. Every time he does this, I don't know what to do.
Hmm.
What should I be doing? And then when I did that, it made me start winning again. So now I became a mind player because that got me out of my heart ditch that I got stuck in, you know?
So I think the best version of this is that like I also hit that wall playing online, like Third
Mm-hmm.
Strike Online
Yeah,
and
that happens
whatnot.
often.
And for me, it was I need to go in to the body, not the mind. I need to go into the body,
Mm-hmm.
and I need to turn the opportunities that I'm opening up because I feel very confident with my head and
Mm-hmm.
getting in there. I need to turn those opportunities into bigger opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing Jamie Mirrors after on Saturday, the day that I didn't stream Street Fighter 6, and I was playing Jamie Mirrors against guys that like I'm hitting them with just as many throws. I'm opening them up with normals or overheads the same amount that they are,
Mm-hmm.
but they're hitting the follow up on the level 3.
Mm-hmm.
And the follow up on the level 3 might only be 10% damage, but that's plenty when it's your last 10% of life.
What I
I
discovered by labbing is that you can make it an extra 20%.
Yeah.
So, um, with full conditions, I was able to get Jamie's level 3 combo up to 55% damage.
So what is it? It's the super, like whatever you do into the super, and then the super is the dash out, and then the moon kick to knock them back up,
So
right?
not even. I was
Not
doing
even.
so I tried those versions out, and those versions are pretty nice, although they're really finicky, where it's like, yeah, you do the launcher kick and then you do the double roundhouse land and do the DP.
It's tough.
It's really tough, right? And I was just explaining literally the night before about how in fighting games, I will go find the optimal combo, try to do it for a while, and after I get it on my 30th try, I'll just be like, cool, let's find the version I can actually do on the regular and just dumb it
Wooly,
down.
I mean, I'm exactly the same way. It's like, are you missing out on 6% damage? Yes, but I'm not because I'm never going to hit that one
Mm-hmm.
consistently. That one, by trying to do that, I would
Mm-hmm.
miss out on 10% or 15%.
So then here's what I found out when I went to that lab, right? Immediately. So when I streamed back up yesterday night and I wanted to get more lab time in, I was able to discover a couple of fucking really cool things. Which, you know, I saw. It's funny because some people are like, dude, stop running away to the worthless lab to learn nothing. And it's like, you don't understand, man. Here's.
So I was before we go. I was streaming, and we did the like a set, and then you'd go and lab, and people would be like, he ran away to the lab, and I'm like, no, 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 he's gonna come back, and we played like 2 sets, and then like one final match, and like he's gonna come back, and he's gonna be better than he was like right now. He'll be back in an hour, and it'll be a much harder fight, and it was, and then you left and I'm like, no, 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 he's gonna be come back. He's gonna be significantly better again, and it was. And if we played today, you would probably start beating my ass.
If we
And if we played tomorrow, because now I need to get into the lab.
Well, if we played today, I might just pick Luke because I kind of decided to turn my brain off.
Okay, dude, I saw that. Let's go back to Jamie in a second. I popped into your stream once mine was done, when I rated you. And he's like, and you go, maybe I should just play Luke. Luke just seems like turn your brain off, and then you did just medium 4 times.
Yep. And it's just like, hey, does that look unsafe? Let me just mash medium to punish it. That worked. Okay. Let me throw a jab out. It's a jab. Let me throw another. Hey, it hit. Okay, jab, medium, launch. And then what? Double uppercut. And then what do you want to do? Which super do you want? They all work. You know? And I'm just like, oh, man. I'm just like, what am I fighting? Guile? Yeah, I'm going to just stand back here and just throw fireballs at you. And it's just like, yeah, if you want to turn the brain off, man, can you do that? So, and it's the feeling of like, oh, right. So this is Jamie is a Fei Long style or Yun and Yang style character.
Jamie is 2 characters that I love that were not as popular as the other characters in their own archetype. In that he's Yang, he's not Yun. He is definitely Yang with the Rekka, and he's Hakan.
Yes, yeah, with the loading up,
Yeah,
and I feel like there's one thing that like is pretty crucial though, because like Yang and Yun have a way to either roll under or do a elbow block through a fireball, right? And in Street Fighter 4, Yun can also just EX rush punch through a fireball, right?
straight through. Yeah,
And so I'm like, as I was really hoping that Jamie's palm, at least on EX, would be able to check a fireball, and it doesn't. And I was like, oh no.
that's the shit. You can punish some fireballs at some ranges with it, but you can't go through.
Because I felt like the fact that would have to cost you meter to do, it would be fair for him to be able to just be like, I'm going to spend it and get through that one, you know? But no, they don't let you do that. So here's what I labbed between Saturday and Sunday. I found out, but you can breakdance under a sonic boom. So when you get loaded up to level 2, you can just do raw breakdance. Now, if the range of the sonic boom is anything further than round start distance, you're not going to hit. But if you time it just right, you can get underneath it and start hitting him and then do that. So there's your way around it.
You know what I found about that?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Guile's upside down kick low crushes the shit out of Roundhouse. Even the super.
Yeah.
Even the super.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen as well Guile's flash kick range.
It's round start distance, right?
Round start distance. Ryu was throwing a Hadoken from further back than round start. Shout outs to Brutus on Twitter who just tweeted out a little clip of like Ryu getting flash kicked from further back than round start distance. It's crazy. It's crazy what they've done. Let me see if I can find the clip. But yeah, so what I found out about labbing Jamie in that particular session was here's the video I was talking about. No, there we go. Here, I'm going to share it on. I'm going to retweet it, and I'm going to send it.
Do a retweet. Then I'll see it.
Further back than round start distance.
You're never safe.
Madness.
It doesn't even touch him. That's my favorite part is the yellow effect that comes off of off of Guile's flash kick is like a character's arm away from Ryu, and it still hits.
No, they're kind of looking at like how like buttons look in some of these anime games, and they're like, no, fuck it. We want this to be a full screen thing. Right? They're just making Street Fighter go a little bit anime with these ranges. And to be fair, go back to some of the old days of Street Fighter 2 with insane footsies and stuff. But what I found out about that whole fancy follow-up post level 3 with Jamie is that the palm strikes land. So if you mash palm strike as the level 3 is happening, as long as it's the not the neck breaker one, but the launcher one, you can land palm strike, any of them.
Like the dashing palm strike?
Yes. And if you can land the palm strike, you can land the second palm strike. And if you're loaded up, You go bop bop,
Yeah.
and that's great damage. But hold on a minute. Let me see here. If you can land the palm strike, what about the EX? You can land the EX, which leads them to a rolling crumple state, which then if they're in the corner, you launch them back up again, and you get a fucking 5.5, 55%
So
damage
what
combo.
do you launch them with?
So the full combo ends up basically being jump in, fear, like headbutt, right, with the
Fierce,
fierce
yeah.
button, crouching fierce,
Right. That's those are the two good ones, and then you do the drive cancel.
EX palm,
EX palm.
palm
Okay.
follow up,
Right.
fully loaded, cancel the
Right.
second palm into level 3.
You can do that. You can cancel the second hit of the palm into
You
level 3.
you can cancel just about anything at some point into level 3. Level 3 cancels
Okay.
are pretty generous. It's the only one. EX into level 2 is a thing, but you go 1, 2. Then you do the level 3, and then as they're coming down, you do EX palm times 1. They roll to the corner, and then EX DP. And it's your full resources, and it's more than half-life. It's incredible.
So this is this relatively um, arcane description of a combo that so many people can't see in their heads does actually lead to something else that I am madly in love with about Street Fighter Six. Street Fighter Six is already. This is going to sound insane. Literally, already my favorite Street Fighter because of one system change. And I assume you thought of it at one point playing against me. This is the only Street Fighter game in which I actually like to use EX moves because EX moves have finally been pulled off of your super,
Mm-hmm.
where all your good super juice is,
Mm-hmm.
into your guard meter.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel way more comfortable throwing down
Guard
guard
meter.
meter
Yeah.
or drive meter.
And you're
And what this does is it gives you more room for player expression,
and you're
right?
never going to feel like you don't have enough super. You're always getting
Right.
super meter.
Yeah. So what I saw was, let's say I'm playing Guile. I had a lot of matches as Guile in which I didn't fully I was far away from people. I was keeping them out. And so I didn't feel the need to do the drive impact. It's called the like
The focus attack?
yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't feel the need to do drive impact. I didn't feel the need to do the drive cancel or anything like that. What I wanted was EX sonic booms and EX flash kicks. That's what I fucking wanted. I wanted more keep out. I wanted to blow through reuse fireballs. I wanted to,
Amplified by the perfect timed versions as well.
yeah, which I found
Perfect.
out. Yeah, so but if I was playing Guile as Rushdown Guile, which I had people beating on me as Rushdown Guile, they would blow the whole bar on me in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they would almost hit burnout, but they were getting me like full to like 30% and just blow every possible resource.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a spot in between where it's like, I want to get a good, consistent follow up, but I want to save something for impacts, or I want to save something for an EX reversal if I need it. And it gives this big, wide open area for player expression. Are you the guy who's using reuse spacing to just throw EX fireballs and EX shore used? Get the fucking fuck out. Are you doing what Steve did to me, where he was doing basic Ryu combos and then using the EX kick to fucking
Mm-hmm.
shore you me to fucking hell?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you want out of it?
And I know Reggie was able to get a couple of wall bounce into the new fireball, the short one.
Yeah.
Wall bounce into Shoryu. I forgot what it's called. Oh no, like Metsuhado or whatever. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
there's like a whole kind of bunch of crazy shit Ryu can do now. He can also just bully you with a standing medium kick, like ridiculously so.
It's a really good one. About perfect
Hashogeki.
booms.
Yeah.
Uh, so it's I saw someone in the chat said that perfect booms are easy. I don't like talking about that in that way because some people have trouble doing a sonic boom. What I can tell you is, for somebody that's been throwing charge motions out for 25 fucking years, perfect booms feel easy. Like, I learned what classifies them as perfect literally just now, looking at the chat and finding out that it's forward and punch on one frame. Um,
So if you've been
yeah,
doing them
no,
properly for your whole life, then
yeah,
they're going to be perfect.
or Rog or Urian,
So
like they're bordering on automatic.
so what's interesting is when you do perfect uppercuts with Luke, it's not the same thing. It's actually much harder. Perfect timing with Luke is more akin to a Devil May Cry input, where you do the charge fist, and then there's a moment where it flashes, and you have to release on the flash. And like, you can't release when you see the flash, you have to release just before the flash so that you're on that moment, you know?
Yeah.
The flash is an indicator that you're too late, if anything. But like, that's the way to like get his like perfect kind of sequence going for the maximum damage stuff. But admittedly, you definitely don't have to go that hard with it.
Reliable is better than fancy. If your fancy is reliable, then go by all means. But the other thing I want to talk about is drive impact itself.
Yes, that's a big topic here.
Go for it.
It's, I don't know if you've seen the feedback on it, but it's getting maligned quite a bit online.
Really? I love it.
A lot of people are not enjoying drive impact because it is like a focus attack, except it's forward moving, and it is pretty, and again, in the corner it is an annihilator, and outside of the corner it is safe, you know? Focus attack had situations where you could make it safe, but it also had like gamble to it. If you were if you had doing a full charge, there were focus breakers, right? And there were also like the dash shot of it, which would then add extra recovery to you if the person just stood still and jabbed you. In this case, it's more of like, no, you block it, you're getting it safe, right? So the way to actively deal with it in game is to see it and respond with your own second.
Yeah. So to be very clear, drive impacts, you hit both strongs, and your character will, in 26 frames, so about half a second, move about 2 feet forward and do a crumpling hit. If they hit a blocked character, the blocked character will fly back. And you absorb 2 hits during it. The third hit will break you.
Now, the reason why, of course, people are feeling this way, though, is that, one, it's pretty inexpensive to use compared to...
Oh, it's free. It's super easy. Yeah.
Like, the canceling out of a button is like 3 bars. This thing is like 1, right? It's like nothing.
It's free.
And then the second thing is, the way footsies tends to be played in Street Fighter is we dance back and forth, walking into the maximum range of one of your good buttons, and I try to get you to use it, and then I hit you when you use it. And that game...
Yeah, absolutely.
And if we're playing that game for more than a second, someone can just go, I don't want to play this anymore, and then just do that instead. And it just destroys that exchange, you know?
The long history of Street Fighter footsies has been rock and paper only. And now this is scissors being added to the mix.
Well, scissors was actually... No, scissors was there, because what scissors was walking forward.
Okay, then Molotov, as the fourth option.
But yes, and then re-Molotov first to break it is the thing.
So I think Drive Impact is great. I think there's a really specific range of players in which it feels insanely oppressive, and that is above novice. Like, not total baby, but just beyond that, where it feels really, really oppressive. I love it. It's 26 frames, which is fast, but not unreactably fast, which is important, because I was playing against people, and I think you did it to me once. You did it to me once. You can react to it on frame 25 of 26, and still beat it out.
Towards the end of the second set, I tried it. I was trying to react to it more.
And you did.
The thing, of course, is that you have to not already be doing something.
Yeah,
right?
you have to be in neutral.
Yeah, if you're already doing something, then too late.
Hmm. The other thing is that its effect on the dizzy system is one of my favorite things I've ever played. Dizzy in Street Fighter or in a lot of fighting games is a little opaque. Maybe there's a bar, often there isn't. And it's the kind of thing where feeling the stun meter is
Mm-hmm.
a factor,
Mm-hmm.
and the stun meter decays, and it's like
Yeah,
it's
yeah. It's
it's
invisible.
opaque.
It's invisible, but it's there. Yeah.
Now, dizzying is a like step one, step two, step three. They are dizzy
Mm-hmm.
situation.
Mm-hmm.
It is they are burnt out, they're in the corner, and they block a drive impact. So when they hit the wall, they dizzy. So
Um.
you are ready for the dizzy the instant you hit the button, and you have the whole move coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the bounce, which is a full second, to mentally get ready
To
for
do
I'm
what
going to
you're
do a
doing.
dizzy combo.
Yeah. The corner is the most terrifying thing in the world. It doesn't matter how much those
Oh, it's
combos
way
scale.
worse than it's ever been.
It's the
It's
scariest
way
thing.
worse than it's ever been.
Anti-strive. Anti-strive. You're not getting out.
Yeah, yeah, no, it is. So in Strive, you'll break through the wall if somebody's beating on you. In five, in six, you can be blocking, and they'll bounce you off the wall to open you up, and you're fucked.
Yeah, it's a lot to deal with mentally stress wise. So I tried to practice like a couple of options for getting out of the corner too, and you've got some options, but that guessing game of whether you're going to eat a drive impact is always there. Um,
I will say,
there's
by the way, Drive Impact does have one big weakness, and it is a weakness that is not fully visible because certain characters were not available in the beta, and that is you can throw people out of a Drive Impact.
providing that it's not the last couple frames of it, right?
Yeah.
If you
But if
do,
you see the Drive Impact
mhm.
start to come out and you throw out a throw, they're eating it.
And like Luke's throw, for example, is like Ken in Third Strike when he does a Kara throw
Hold on, somebody in the chat just said Drive Impact feels like getting punched in real life in the
in the
corner.
corner.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. It does feel
No,
like that.
no. When you're cornered and like when you're up against the wall and someone hits you and you got nowhere to go, that sucks, man. Um, yeah. So Luke, I was doing some testing and I saw that Luke had a throw default range that was the range of like Ken doing a Kara grab, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So he can probably grab it early on in when you're coming at him if you're being too obvious about it. But if you do it, I did a test on like like meaty. So you do a drive impact on someone who's getting up from the corner and make it so that the impact is happening as soon as they get up, and you can't throw that.
Yeah.
So, but you can focus it though, rather parry
Yeah,
it.
and the other thing is that if they're doing it meaty, it means you're still getting up, so you're weighing your options, and if you see the Drive Impact coming out, you should probably react with your own Drive Impact. And that like the person who goes second wins it is
Mm-hmm.
funny, but
Rival
it works
schools.
really well. It works really well in a situation in which if you're just spamming it, you're gonna burn yourself out, and now you have no ability to defend yourself against the other person's.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a little bit of Samurai Showdown in there's those like stare down moments, and like when you're trying to get the Isen in, and there's those moments where you're both like, we have a gun loaded, pointed at each other. Whoever
Mm-hmm.
whoever starts to aim first is like the second person is gonna win, you know.
Yeah, this game has a really so the damage is not as high, right? You need to do more to get more damage, but at the same time, it's this weird situation where like everybody is walking around with level threes
Mm-hmm.
at like for huge proportions of the match, and they're walking around with level threes with a bunch of buttons that will just put you into a full crumple. In which case, anybody can hit a
Mm-hmm.
level three when you're in a full
Mm-hmm.
crumple. So everything is scary.
And the thing is damage is high depending on who you're using, though, right? Kimberly has to work to get damage.
But she can.
Ryu can just fucking lay it into you. It really does depend. But yeah, so no, I was gonna say, the one thing that I thought looking at it was like, I was like, oh no, I don't like the sound of burnout when I saw that as a feature, because I was like, oh, what are we gonna have, like a state where you're too tired to do a Hadoken, a state where you're too tired to do moves? Like, I don't like that in Street Fighter. And then it's like, no, 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 it's gonna be fine. You can still do all your moves. You just don't have access to any of the unique things that make Street Fighter 6 abilities available. You know, you don't have
and because of the effects on your safety,
yes.
you're gonna want to play it
So
cool.
I initially saw that, I was like, oh, okay, you can just play normally and you'll still be okay.
Yeah.
And then now I'm like, oh no, it's still it's terrifying, right? It's really, really scary to not have any of those things at your disposal, because the counters to all the new systems require you also use the new system as well.
I had a couple matches in which I was playing Jamie and I was really feeling myself, and I'm like doing a combo and then I'm hitting the EX and I'm like, yeah, and I'm blowing through my whole bar. And there's one where I did like a big combo and I was really thrilled with myself, and I blew the entire bar like 15 seconds into the fucking match,
Mm-hmm.
which sowed the seeds of my destruction, because they were
Mm-hmm.
able to push me into the corner and keep me in the whole corner the whole time because I had blown all my resources that early.
I've died countless rounds to thinking I was on drink level 2 when I was not, and trying to do a move sequence that I didn't have access to, and just like, oh
Mm-hmm.
god damn it, keeping track of what drink level I'm at and what moves are behind what, you know, is the next level, right? So when they talk about characters that require like a little more work, part of it with is a character like this, where that move list unlocks more as you get drunker, but you have to know what changes when. You know, I got it down in my head, but like in match, there's moments of pressure where I'm like, "Fuck! I thought I had
Yeah.
my breakdance, but I didn't."
Jamie's drink level is really fun because you get to 4 and he becomes super powered. Some of his normals change. He gets new normals. He gets his like Rekka has like 12 to 15 extra hits, does way more damage. It's like a miniature super,
Mm-hmm.
blah, 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 blah. But then you're like, well, yeah, but drink number 1 is actually the important part, because it turns the shittiest jab in the game to
Into a
the
three,
best
yeah,
jab in the game.
into the 1-2-3. That's it. Yep, yep,
The,
yep.
the most brain dead confirm I've ever seen in SF,
Mm-hmm.
where, oh, it's super good.
Yes. Don't you already do that with Nago Blood? Absolutely. Me managing Nago Blood, I've played enough that I check it, but I have it, I feel it inside, and I kind of know where I'm
Yeah,
at, right?
yeah.
But this is a brand new character in a brand new game, and the indicator for the drink is right there up to his name. All you have to do is check it. But again, new character, new environment, you find yourself in little stressed out moments, and then you're like, oh, I have an opportunity, let's go for it. And then you go for the thing that you're like, oh, wait, shit, and it's already too late, the moment's gone. So it's really just learning a new thing, right? Learning to ride that
Mm-hmm.
bicycle. You're going to have moments where like you weren't expecting to have an opportunity because they just dropped a combo, and you have to take advantage, and then you land the counter hit, and you're like, oh, I don't have the breakdance. So
Yeah,
now,
so I had the opposite problem, in which I would have enough drinks, but I wouldn't realize that I had enough to do breakdance or something like that. So I would go for the Rekka or something like that,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
because I
mm-hmm.
you always have the Rekka.
And if somebody lets you do it, I saw you were initially taking sips, 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 and I did mine where it's like, no, hold the button down. Just hold it down, and if they let you do it,
Um,
you can just get loaded all the way up.
so I fought you, and I fought another guy playing in Jamie Mirrors, in which the start of the match is both characters go, fuck it, level 4. Let's just turn this mechanic off.
Yeah, yeah, that's fun. So anyway, I'm curious to see how it's going to shape up. I know some really good hidden tech was locked behind his standing medium punch, which was like very, very plus. I saw
But
like
not cancelable into anything.
uh no, but if it's plus enough, you can just link it, right? So
Oh yeah, into
yes,
like low medium.
into standing jab.
Standing jab. Okay, of course.
So then
Standing jab. Of course.
standing medium punch 1 2 3, right? But what I also saw was someone do a combo where it was like standing medium off of the and then off of the rush,
Off the drive. Yeah.
so he gets a ton of extra frames, enough to do a crouching fierce. That's a lot of plus. It's so
And it's so plus that if it's block, you're cool.
yep, because check the
On
math on it,
okay.
right? It usually leaves you +5. You do it with the rush version, you get those extra 4, so now you're plus 8. And you're able to
nothing is
9 really, and then you're going to be able to do the move that's at 8. So the math works out. So you do a fierce, then do whatever you want. Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun. It's going to be a hype character. He jumps in going, the top player is here. But you know, I think you're going to see him struggle to people who
fireballs shut him the fuck down. It's really bad
because fireballs are back. Fireballs are 100% back. You know. They are not like weaker versions from the past. They're not versions that are like you have an easy answer to them. Street Fighter 4 said, just focus it. Who cares? Street Fighter 5 said, we're going to give you a dedicated move that'll catch it or hit underneath it or ignore a fireball entirely. You don't need to worry about fireballs. And then 6 says, you can try to focus it, but it's probably going to cost you more to do that. You also probably...
just jumping it.
Yeah, you also don't have the ability to react to the speed of it. Walking forward and a Guile EX boom comes out and you try to hold down in time, it's too fast. You know?
It's beyond... I mean, some people might be able to do it, but I can't.
Almost unreactable. And then, you know, you just go, oh, yeah, fireballs are back. Street Fighter 2. This is what they wanted. So anyone who doesn't have an instant, clear answer to that issue will suffer on this cast. I'm telling you right now.
I have one complaint about the closed beta, and it is a complaint that is not fair. And that is that I had a ton of fun, but none of the character archetypes that I play were present.
Yeah.
And it bummed me the fuck out. There was no grappler, and there was no like boxing body projectile fucking complete nonstop rushdown character. That's got to be, I think her name, it's the Italian lady with the red hair.
Yeah,
and Keith.
Maybe.
And or even Honda, right? Like I need it.
I hopefully the new Gladiator girl looks like that.
I assume
is
she's
one of
going
those
to be
one of
new
those
Balrog.
styles. Marissa.
Yeah.
No, I don't think she's going to be new Balrog. I think the guy that looks like G is going to be the new Balrog.
The old guy?
The old man. Because he looks like G and Q. And G and Q have the rush punch moveset. So I feel like we're going in that direction.
People are saying that Marissa is a super armor character. They were able to data mine some stuff out.
Oh, like information about the actual stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So if she's a super armor character, then she is then she is fucking EX Balrog.
Okay. Because if JP plays like, you know, G, who is like a better version of Q, then you're getting some of that, like that Balrog with flair as well. And you know, we also don't know what Mimi is gonna be.
Apparently, I mean, I would be under the assumption that she's gonna be cooler, able.
Not hard to do.
He was just so normal. People are saying that the little girl that looks like
Lily?
T-Hawk, Lily is T-Hawk.
Yeah, for sure.
Is just T-Hawk.
She's doing a condor dive in her art. Like the art of her in the intro of the world tour is her doing a condor dive. So for sure. Aki's probably going to be Fang, you know, and then everything else, no real question marks. Rashid, Edge, DJ, etc. Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, there are the choices for the characters definitely, you know, I didn't obviously have an archetype I was looking for, so I'm down with going. I'm like, let me just jam me on a lark, you know. I did sort of see though that like the combo display final day stuff coming out of like High Fight and a number of other like lab monsters were showing you that most of the cast with full resources can drop you to 50%. Ideal
means that
circ.
second round halfway mark is going to be touch of death land.
Yeah. With perfect execution and perfect setup, you can do things that'll just rock the your opponents. So
I'm being told that there's no green hand, but Geef has new moves, including a dedicated anti-air grab, which
what's that coming from?
the audio files that people were able
Is
to
that
pull out the audio. Rooflemonger has a video about it. Off we go.
okay? I would assume Green Hand would be there simply because every other World Warrior has all the moves they had ever had, right? Like they gave Dalsum all of his 5 stuff and all of his 4 stuff. They gave Geef, or they gave Honda all of his 4 and 5 stuff, and
They were. Oh, that's how they were able to get voice commentary files of
okay.
the commentators.
So they hear the
About
move
this.
like, oh, there's the
Oh
spinning pile
man,
driver. Yeah,
that is a new way. That is a
Man.
new way to leak shit.
Because of the commentary system. That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. Siberian Blizzard isn't gonna kill.
I can't believe Zangief was able to grab that guy out of the air from the ground.
Yeah, okay. That's funny. Interesting.
That's incredible.
Huh. I feel too though that like
Yeah, I'm listening to it right now. It's like it's
okay.
literally all the commentator tracks that currently exist for the new characters.
See, but the other thing
That's
is that in my head, Zangief and Potemkin are in an arms race. And from Street Fighter 4 over to Exerd, over to 5, over to Strive, there's been just an escalation of like how ridiculous a pure grappler can get, how many extra things we can give them while trying to maintain the purity of that grappling, you know?
So the thing that always did the difference between Potemkin and Geef is they're always designed to be the most oppressive grappler on their respective roster. And I think they're the top 2 in terms of like just the feeling of. But Geef's big thing is that he always has had a way to get people the fuck off him with the lariat. Potemkin fucking jab it, I guess. get off me. I don't know.
And like but then Potemkin is like on his wake up is you're just gonna cry, you know.
I just had my brain just go Zangief like medium, like crouching medium punch into drive rush, and just the emotion that will cause as the big man just goes from over here to over here.
Crouching medium punch canceled into drive rush into they're gonna jump because they think I'm SPDing and you jump
and then I
SPD
do the anti-air
them.
grab. Well, no, apparently he doesn't even need the air SPD. He has a dedicated
Ground to
anti-air
air.
grab.
Oh, like an Able.
I assume like the hand.
The Able reach and grab you. Get down here. Yeah, okay.
Which is part of the Geef formula, which would have always felt unfair because jumping away from him is the way to leave.
Because then people learning how to do like 720 Siberian Blizzard, one step off the ground, you know, to catch you the moment you're jumping back is like that
Audio file has confirmed that Geef has the most grabs he has ever had. So I guess grab for wherever the opponent is.
I mean, at that state, you might as well just go Beowulf with it and have a generic grab, which you then pick the follow-up. You know, just, all right, he's got you. Where you want to go? You want to go up, down, left, right, whatever. Damn. Yeah. Okay. Great.
Also, So we saw Dalsum in the trailer, and Dalsum looked like mean. He's doing full screen everything.
Yep.
After playing it for a while and feeling the new systems, man, Dalsum's gonna be pissed about Drive Impact.
Is the
Like,
crumple going to teleport him to your face?
no,
Then
there's no way.
we'll
But
have to see.
like his bullshit where he's in the air and he's doing like his sniper shit. What it will do is it'll roll him up there, which will probably give you all the time in the world to get all over to him.
Oh, I mean, there's options. You know, one of the sickest combos Ryu I saw off of Ryu was one that ends with a level 2 Hashogeki from mid screen, and that leaves you rolling, and then
I just saw that.
and you do a Shinku Hadoken while he's rolling at the other side of the screen, and it tags
Yeah.
him.
So Ryu's short range fireball, the super puts this like that's a new state, right? I don't remember ever seeing
Yeah,
that type of
rolling.
state in Street Fighter where he rolls and he rolls the whole length of the screen and Shinku catches him anyway.
Sliding state has been a thing in other fighters, but it's a new state for Street Fighter for sure. The fact that they can let you do that is like that leaves you tumbling and you catch a level 1 super. Like, my God, they're giving you the options to just spend it all to murder.
I'm also being told that Geef has kept his suction.
Oh yeah, the win because it's definitive to his five play. It became a big deal.
Like the suction, dude. That's the suction existing in a state in which it's just a move. It's not a resource move. It's just a thing to do. That's like a fucking Tager. With magnetism shit.
I could see it being like Lariat, and then EX Lariat is suction. You know, I could see something like that.
I have a list of somebody who has gone through the audio files and broken down what is in there. Would you like to go over them?
I mean, I not now, but I will certainly, because I have a lot of Blanca questions.
The Blanc is not in there.
It's just Geef.
We've got Lily, Manon, JP, Marissa, and Geef. So a bunch of newcomers.
Okay.
I'm just gonna fly through this like as fast as I can. Lily is definitely T-Hawk's daughter because she has Condor Spire, Condor Dive, Mexican Typhoon, Tomahawk Buster, and Raging Typhoon.
Okay.
Girl is T-Hawk.
Oh, is this the Sportskeeda page?
This is the Sportskeeda page, yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I see it.
That's T-Hawk. Manon, Heart Ballet, and Heart Judo.
Manon
doesn't have a whole lot.
Momentum Grappler.
Momentum Grappler, yeah.
I mean, listen, there's one archetype missing from this list that is not gonna be missed. Laura. If there's no Laura, I think a lot of people are gonna be fucking happy because Laura was disgusting. So we'll see what happens if she can do anything like that.
JP is gonna have a teleport, so JP will probably be our boss. Marissa is super armor. Taxer Describe sounds like an MMA fighter with knee strikes and lifts. And then Geef has Cyclone Lariat, Tundra Storm, Borscht Dynamite, Russian Slam, and Jackhammer. That's a lot of throws.
Yeah. Probably
the Borscht Pile Driver is the jumping aerial throw, and the Russian Slam sounds like an anti-air.
Because, God, he's had, over the years, to pick from, he's had the ground-to-air grab, like the double Hadoken kicks in Alpha. He's had the, Siberian Blizzard Ultra 2 air-to-air. He's had catching you out of the air and dropping. He's had, yeah. Okay. A super armor character. I wonder.
That sounds like EX Balrog, like SF4 like EX Balrog, or maybe Alex. Yeah, I want to play these new characters. Like Kimberly and Jamie, I didn't play much of Luke, but he does actually seem fun to play. But Kimberly and Jamie are fucking A+ newcomers.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
great.
whole lot of fun. And I like I'm looking at this list of returning, characters as well, and I'm just like, yeah, like I hope that everybody gets like all that pizzazz. Like so far, they've been doing a pretty good job of it. The return of Rashid is probably going to be really nuts. Like Rashid is a fun character. I'm glad he's coming back, and like I can only imagine what zoning is going to look like for him now that it's again better than ever. Um, yeah, yeah, no, so far so good. Street Fighter 6, very good, very very good.
I want that Zangief trailer so bad, dude.
Um,
And
people ask
I'm
me,
gonna be playing the game on PC, and I'm gonna ask somebody who knows how to do this kind of thing. I would like you to modify the Zangief model and replace it with my dog's head for maximum freaking weirdness.
there you go. Um, people have
It's been really funny watching people on the subreddit and on my Twitter get like legitimately confused that I'm talking about Street Fighter because they can't tell the difference between the dog and the character anymore.
nice.
It's real fun.
You also use Geef as well as a shortcut to name too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's going to be complicated. Um,
I'll just call the dog David.
someone asked me yesterday, like, what are your dream, like, what's your wish list for the game? And I was like, look, the pipe dream that'll never happen is adult Makoto. Like,
Yeah.
it would be the coolest thing in the world, but it's too cool for it to exist. So we won't be getting that, at least maybe not until like DLC season 4.
I
Or,
think
um,
I think the weirdest thing is that like the roster's good. I like the roster. It's a little strange there is not one character from 3 on the whole list. There's nobody.
no shit. Akuma's got gray beard. Akuma's got
Yeah.
gray hair. Yeah, no, not as a representative. Straight
Hmm.
up.
Um,
Uh,
I think Makoto would be terrifying in this system.
yes.
Just
I mean,
really, really
J-
scary.
Jamie's command grab is already like a little bit of proof of that, and now think about her explosive grab dash up to you to like, before you even get a chance to drive impact, she's grabbing you out of it. Like it
Hmm.
would be super sick. But since that's a pipe dream, and whatever, monkey's paw, I'm gonna settle for a more reasonable. My realistic pipe dream is I hope that Blanca can get his dolls back. I hope that it's not 5 and they're gone.
Yeah. Yeah, no, from what I've played, I'm thrilled with the directions. Like I'm not the biggest Ryu player in the world or Ken player in the world or Guile player definitely. These are really really fun versions of these characters. I didn't play Ken once because I was playing controller, which I don't have my stick with me because of the move. Um, and I'm looking at Ken and he's got like the double kicks to do the dash and all that. So I'm like, I'm not gonna bother till I have my stick. But what I did feel is that people playing Ken were able to do a ton of
Mm-hmm.
super cool shit. And he finally, every Ken super brings you up in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And he finally has another super where he brings you back
Spikes you
down to the
back down
ground.
to the ground. Yes, the spike.
It's been since like what, Giant Impact or some
Bop,
shit?
bop, bop,
Like
bop, bop,
just
bop, and stay down. Yeah.
it's great.
How do you feel about the fact that we've gone from Capcom being like, psst, I hear you guys y'all like feet? You like feet? I got a little feet here, and
So
now Capcom is like offering it to you. They're down there on their knees with you, going,
so
don't you want some
jury
delicious feet
we
though?
we saw Jury Super and we were like, ugh. But that's nothing compared to the character select. It's it feels like a man is exposing himself to me. That's what it feels like. It
It's the
is it is it is somebody whispering in my ear going snoof it.
for me.
Snoof
No,
it.
no, it's the taunt. It's the taunt where she does the little kochi kochi with her butt, and she uses her hands to do a come hither. Or she uses her feet to do a come hither while wiggling her butt at you, and it's just like the absolute most degenerate shit. Now, I am not one to shame. I am not one to fucking embrace cowardice. I say you go all in on what you want to go all in on. But there's a level of like, again, like the official Capcom rep with the name tag and the little C and everything. Like, why, hello there, welcome to Street Fighter 6. Can I interest you in some feet? No, more for me then.
That's exactly what it feels like.
While wearing the uniform.
It's really it's
It's a lot.
it's Tarantino-esque.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Man, Lily's gonna be T-Hawk. Man, I haven't seen a grappler archetype off like a little girl character in a long time. I want to see like a 5 foot nothing little girl doing a Mexican typhoon, man.
I mean, there's been versions of that with like psychic energy floating you around and shit.
Ah, Jesus. Sorry. Hey, man. Love you.
Or the splat you to the ground and then does the big sit, but it's a little sit, so it's not even going to be that impactful. That's going to keep happening, isn't it?
It sure is.
All right.
It sure is.
Okay. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so let's take a quick word from our sponsors.
No.
You okay?
Oh no, I just saw this tweet and it's horrible. It's very horrible.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, people are starting to analyze your Street Fighter 6 character model.
Yeah.
Hey, you went for the
I,
thick thighs too. Yeah, I made mine thick thigh. Yeah.
yeah.
I made my character also have a dread beard just for fun,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
then walked around and tried on clothes, and then the dread beard face, the dread started freaking the fuck out and coming out like
Good.
hands, and
That's great.
it was so fucking creepy, and you're not
That's
allowed
great.
to
I
edit
love
your
that.
character. So then I had to delete my save file, and it turns out that's the only way to remake your character.
Oh, they're gonna totally. They are absolutely gonna sell fucking edit your character tokens like they did
Tickets
for Monster Hunter. Yep.
instead of just letting you go back whenever you want.
Do you think it's possible this game's gonna have a free to play version?
Implemented into the system.
Like, there's the full package, and then there's like play Ryu and Luke.
Oh man. Oh boy. Okay, here's the problem is just putting that alongside a full retail version though kind of sucks. Like that doesn't make people feel good, you know?
I don't know, man. There's a
I
lot of content
like
coming with this game.
I could see it down the line when we're years in where they're like, okay, so you can run around the world for free, and then you can
Yeah.
find like one character and learn some of their moves, but the main game package is like still gated away from you. Like I could see that, but I still think that's messy. Like it's you got to just make the whole game go in and out from the jump, and not an
You know what I
Overwatch
just
2 kind of way.
realized? I just realized we didn't even mention part of the beta as well. A mode that absolutely does not need to be there, but people are going to have fun with it. Was like Tekken Ball mode,
Oh yeah, extreme
like
match.
like like fucky ducky shitty battle with goofy bullshit.
I did a couple of them. And I can say that like some of them are not great and some of them are really fun. So the ones where you have to dodge the bull and dodge the lightning, those are fun. I have those are
Yeah.
fun. The ones where the little medit hats drop down, that's kind of fun too. It's a little goofy item.
Mm-hmm.
The ones
Mm-hmm.
where you have to do the move that gets called out on the screen take for fucking ever and are not fun. So I find that to be like dry. Like the rounds go on forever because it's like land a
Wait, how does
command.
that work exactly?
There's two versions of it. One where a command appears for both characters and the first person to do it gets the point. And then there's another one where and then you race to like 30,000 points. And then the second one is you have 4 specific goals for your character. I have 4 goals for my character, and the first one to do all 4 goals wins. Though
That's
it was not fun, unfortunately.
that sounds like they are trying to make gun game but with a fighting game, and I don't think that works.
It was weird. It was weird. But like I said, the bulls were cool. The the little the little Tekken ball thing was fine with the metets, and the lightning stuff was fine too. Um, and the one where it's like do the goal first is a bit better because it gets through them faster. If you could just make the goal not be 30,000 points so that rounds end up taking twice as long as normal rounds do, that'd be good. But they just lasted too long. And the get knockdowns only is pretty fun too, right? So
Yeah.
you have infinite life, but 5 knockdowns and you're dead. Is a
Yeah,
fun way to play.
knockdowns only. So these sound like shooter mode types
Mm-hmm.
being turned into fighting games because knockdowns only is straight up shoddy sniper from Halo.
Which
Because the
is
only thing that is you only have shotguns and snipers.
shoddy sniper. Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm like, well, what's going to cause knockdowns? Throws
Sweeps,
and sweeps.
special moves.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that changes the game around a lot and resembles, test your luck, which really they should ultimately have a test your luck in the game. Like, let's just steal that feature completely. Test your luck in Mortal Kombat 10 and 11 was like a roulette of random fuckery, objects, items, and situations happens before the match, and you never know what you're gonna get. You know, just do that. All right. Let's take a quick word from our sponsors. This week, the podcast is sponsored by Bombas. What kind of underwear you got on there? What's
The like fucking Hanes, like just
no, fuck
it
that.
came in a
Fuck that.
came in a pack of
Fuck
four.
that. You need your balls cradled by the softest, most delicate, seamless, tagless, cozy feelings you can get. Bombas is what it's about. It's the good pair. When you look in your underwear drawer, you know that there's that pair that you like, that you maybe sometimes want to save for a special occasion because you're like, that one, it never rides up, it feels good. If you prefer that, that's what you're getting with every Bombas. Whether you're getting their socks, their shirts, or their underwear, it's the good one.
Really, because like the stuff that I'm wearing right now, like I gotta like pull it out of my body after I've been wearing it for a couple minutes.
That's fucking disgusting. With Bombas socks, underwear, or t-shirts, they have sweat-wicking yarns, so you don't have to worry about pulling it out. They stay cool while you work up a sweat, no problem. There are features that are, we are living in the world of the future. We can improve that shit. Get in there with the thoughtful design features. Invisible seams. I have how many pairs lost through time of socks where the seam pops and then you got toes sticking out and it's horrible and the quality is just bad. Bombas, no seams. You just wear it and it feels good the whole way through. And, of course, everything you buy, Bombas will also contribute and donate to those in need. They've donated over 50 million items of essential clothing so far. Socks are the most requested thing at homeless shelters after all. So that has done a lot of good. So you can go to bombas.com/superbeast and use code superbeast for 20% off your first purchase. That's bombas.com/superbeast. And if you use the code superbeast at checkout, that's 20% off your first purchase. Bombas.com/superbeast. Code superbeast. Thank you, Bombas.
Thanks, Bombas.
Yo, whatever you had for lunch is probably fucking disgusting. Hello Fresh.
It actually really was. I fucked up. I went out and got some food and it was fucking terrible.
You shouldn't have done it.
Terrible.
You shouldn't have done it. Hello Fresh could have got you the farm fresh pre-portioned ingredients and the seasonal recipes you want right to your door. And
the
you
Hello Fresh that I got like 2 weeks ago was like 100 times better than the lunch I just had.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to have to deal with it. The trips to the grocery store, the unnecessary pile up, all of that avoidable. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. You get to subscribe to HelloFresh and have them deliver you meals 25% cheaper than takeout, less expensive than grocery shopping. And you're picking from the flavors you like. You get to choose all kinds of ingredients that suit your tastes, whatever your dietary restrictions or preferences are.
Listen, I mean, sometimes you go down to the grocery store and you go to get some food, and as you're walking through the grocery store, you discover that there is a crackhead swimming in the refrigerated milk aisle and unable to get out. And the ambulance workers are having to fight him to, pull him out of the meat and cheese as you're just trying to get your ingredients. You don't have to put up with that if HelloFresh just delivers food to your door.
There you go. Sometimes you walk to the store and you put your hand on the handle to the freezer for the frozen aisle, and then it turns out that a wire was crossed somewhere and the entire handle is now electrocuted. And you can't let go until someone tackles you off of the door. Otherwise, you might get cooked because of bad electricity work.
Is that real?
Yeah.
That happen?
That happens multiple times to people. Countless.
Mine was real and it sounded fake, but that one sounds crazy as hell.
That's a super real thing that has happened to multiple people that got
How does
electrocuted
that?
when they opened the refrigerator aisle door. Because
Yeah, don't just get HelloFresh. You don't have to deal with crackheads or being electrocuted.
straight up. And like I said, you can enjoy the meals that suit your taste. They got that swilly. They got that sweet chili tofu. If you're down for that spicy coconut stir fry, the chicken pesto, my fave. I'm always going to go back to it. Ever changing, of course. If you are doing regular balanced meals, if you're more vegan or vegetarian, if you're more protein, if you're more keto, all of that you can choose and go through with their 30 plus weekly recipes. Something for everybody. So you get the pre-portioned ingredients. They do the hard work for you, and then you get to feel accomplished as you cook up a good meal and impress everybody. Go to hellofresh.com/superbeast65 and use the code superbeast65 for 65% off plus free shipping. That's hellofresh.com/superbeast65, and then you use the code superbeast65 for 65% off plus free shipping. That is America's #1 meal kit. Thank you, HelloFresh.
Thanks, HelloFresh.
All right. And this week, the podcast is sponsored by Shopify. Cha-ching, cha-ching is the sound of a sale on Shopify. And if you are in the business of getting your business to grow, then Shopify can help you out. In particular, as a podcast, we have had to figure out okay, when we stop talking into microphones, what else do we do? And it's like, oh, t-shirts, that can become a part of the equation. Sure can. How do you do that? I don't fucking know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I literally just found out, I think like yesterday, that all my stuff has been sold out and that it hasn't re-upped. And it's been a while now, and that you cannot find any more of them. So I got to go find out what the fuck is up with that, because I don't know how to handle this type of thing. I'm just
I
here to
don't
talk
know
into
how
the
to do
microphone.
it. I have to call a man and be like, "Hello."
So this is where
Help.
Shopify comes into help, because they are all about scaling up with your business. If you have an online store that you need to set up, if you want to grow your business to grow with the amount of customers increasing, if you want to be able to ship to people worldwide, whatever the platform you need, keeping track of your sales data, they've got all of that all in one e-commerce platform. It works across social media. It works with Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, everything that is out there that is reaching out to people, and taking the part that you're not so good at and handling the hard stuff for you. 24/7 support, free libraries full of educational content. Shopify has got you every step of the way, and they're going to help you scale that business up as you have to implement your storefronts. So there you go. Get into it. Check them out. You can try Shopify for free and start selling anywhere. You can sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/superbeast, all lowercase. Again, go to shopify.com/superbeast and you can start selling online today. Shopify.com/superbeast. Thank you, Shopify.
Thanks, Shopify.
All right. What'd you send me?
Sent you a really funny clip of Street Fighter 6 of Guile throwing like 400 Sonic Booms only to get KO'd by Chun-Li just sliding under that shit.
Okay. Because... Yeah, there you go. Because I was going to say
I
that,
love it.
like, I feel like Guile's, like, solid puncher ability has become way better now that you can be in burnout and unable to absorb or get away from any of them.
Oh yeah, a lot of stuff that normally be like, it'd be okay, but now it's like, well, they're burnout. They can't stop me.
Get
They
dead.
can't. They can't do anything.
Anyways.
They must die.
So, what else is going on? Well, Not a ton. I mean, obviously we had the Street Fighter 6 weekend was quite all consuming, but over on the channel, I did start Bayonetta 2,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to say I am really enjoying it. I think it's great. I know Umbran Climax is overpowered, but I feel like
It's really, really overpowered.
but I do feel like in the goal that is making you feel like a badass bitch, you know, like making you feel like just like dominating the battlefield, like it in lore feels cool. Um, if there was a way to make you do that type of thing where all of your attacks become wicked weaves, but perhaps you had a maybe limiting the damage in some way or something, I could see that. I could see some nerfing to it, but it's so fucking fun to just unleash that devil trigger that you could never
Mm-hmm.
unleash before, you know?
Well, in Bayo 3, they seem to have found a nice little solution, which is they've made it even stronger because the whole demon is
Now
out,
fully
but
out. Yes.
you're just a target now.
Your V. Um they that's what it was, is like devil trigger grants the ability to just go rah, you know, pop the fuck off.
I'm
And
gonna heal real fast, so I'm gonna power through everything with 10 stingers.
you know, like you couldn't really do that with just your witch time magic in 1, so 2 gives you something to spend it on, you know. And it is like when you pop DT and you're just like fuck this whole screen, you know, which is
Yeah.
where 5 kind of ended up anyways. It's like, yeah, that's kind of what you're doing with Umbran Climax.
My bummer is that it really makes torture attacks just complete trash by comparison.
It makes them worse, but the trade-off that is intended is you can pick an enemy that you want dead for sure right away and get it, and then they drop their weapon, right? So the utility comes from, I want that big guy gone and I want to drop his weapon, which will help with this verse right away. So there is a decision to make, you know. I find that intended goal, maybe you'll have a massive incentive to not do it when you're Umbran climaxing instead in certain situations. But I find that little decision an all right one, you know. So, but I am enjoying it, and the angel arms are stronger. That is true too. I'm going to need some time though to like really fucking, you know, get my brain back into that mode, because the real wake up call is you get to the first Lumen Sage fight and you go, okay, how does this go? You know, are you awake?
Bad.
And I did it in 1. I did it in 1, but
Oh, good for you.
it certainly wasn't a fucking platinum rating. You know, it certainly wasn't a clean, a no dot, no hit.
Platinum ratings are for replay.
Yeah,
And you've never played Bayonetta 2 before, so this is a really good example of how platinum is for replays.
exactly. That's precisely it. Yeah, I'm gonna need to go practice a lot to fucking get back up to at least that level of it, because with Bayo, I never really got like to, you know, full on nonstop infinite climax, no witch time ability. You know what I mean? Like I never.
I did it, and it was rough.
Yeah,
It's
taking away witch time
real rough.
doesn't make it more fun to me. You know, so
As somebody who did beat Nonstop Infinite, you're right. That game is worse without Witch Time. Witch Time is fun.
yeah, yeah. So no, make the challenges also be more fun on the way. Now, there's like with two doesn't take it away, right?
It couldn't. It can't. There's enemies that you can only fucking hit in Witch Time. It'd be uncompletable.
So then you just take it up to the enemy patterns then. Yeah, that's better, because just like, yeah, this is a fun feature, not just a strong feature. So taking it away makes the game less enjoyable. You know, that's a bummer. But yeah, I guess just getting things back to the ability to just like dodge clean and get those 20,000 rings so I can get my parry back, because fuck having to earn that. God damn it. Why do you have to earn that for 20,000? That sucks. Hate it. Bayo 2 fun. That's continuing. We also did our second Wooly versus whatever. That was a fun stream. Good times, good bits, good stories all around. Clips and videos should be coming pretty soon. Though I got to drop the first one. Yeah, I was having a bit of a debate because I have like, for example, a stream of like the first React one that is like summarized, down to like about an hour and a half or so. And I was wondering, I'm like, that could go on the main channel or it could go on the side. I kind of wanted to put it on the side since it's a new thing for the new place and I want to get people to go there. So I feel like even though it's not a short clip, it'd be a good incentive to just test that out and see how people would respond to a longer video showing up over on the side.
I'm not even gonna bother putting that shit on YouTube. That is like the most claimable fucking shit in the world. Like, not strikeable, I don't think, but just like it's gonna get tagged by like 150 different fucking like, oh, the BBC says you're owning their thing even though there's no BBC in it. Like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna test it. So we're gonna pop that in. So look forward to it. And yeah, I think we'll go side channel, just to help with the attention on it, the eyeballs. So we had a lot of fun going through what was essentially just part 2 of that same starter list. And I guess coming to the realization that even with the vetting process, there's not going to be a need to ask people for submissions constantly because it'll take good enough time to make it through what's there right now.
I have not asked for submissions in a month.
There you go. Yeah.
Like I hit like 200 plus videos like in the beginning of September, and like there's still 70 left in the list that I put together then.
Yeah. You can ride this shit out. Quality is always going to be of questionable concern, but
Oh, it's always going to be complete fucking despicable trash.
I'm hoping that it sounds like the vetting process, at least on my side, has mitigated some of that so that I don't end up with like 5 skips in a row, but that is going to be coming out shortly as well. And then, Mass Effect is continuing, so tune in.
Where you at?
What's the last thing we did? I think... what was it? Overlord? Yeah, Overlord.
Oh, yeah, you did Overlord, in which you discovered yet another game delving into the super secret power that is some autistic guy.
Yeah. Named David, who I was hoping his last name wouldn't be Cage. And then it turned out it wasn't. But the secret amazing powers of autism. And the line where his brother says something to the effect of, "My normal mind can't begin to comprehend his autistic one." And I was just like, Jesus Christ, guys. Is this what we're doing? Is this how we're going? And then like the power starts flying into Shepard, and then you start seeing the lines of code, and I'm like, is this the autism kicking in? Like, what is happening? Mass Effect, why? Yeah, it's weird. It got real weird.
Never forget that Mass Effect was made by a bunch of guys out in the prairies.
A combination of unique faiths and whatever.
No, BioWare never said that.
The weirdest part to me is like standing right behind you is a fucking lizard man whose voice already sounds Geth-like and vibrates, who also has perfect memory and can just recall and make a fucking Geth noise if need be. But no, let's strap this poor kid up to wires and tubes and do it that way instead.
Yeah.
Even though a Drell is like made to talk to Geth, practically. Anyway.
No, the reason he's like that is so that you can have sexy lizard time with his weird voice.
Oh, sexy lizard time is right after he talks about the perfect vivid memory of his dead wife. That's the best time to get in.
Unironically, yes. Have you not gotten that prompt?
I did get that prompt.
Like, yeah, no,
I
like,
can still see her body being taken away by the Hanar. I want you, Thane.
hey man, tell you what, chicks dig widowers.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
put, just hey, young men out there, you're single, get yourself a gold band, put it on. Well, oh, you married? No, my wife passed away. Sad.
Widowers or criminals, right? Just damaged, broken in some way, a project to be put back together. You can write it on your forehead if you want to let them know. Yeah.
You know what I think is always really funny? Whenever I give out like an incredibly terrible suggestion, I always see somebody in the chat go like all caps, "Do not do this," and in
Yeah.
my mind is like they did this and there was a bad fallout from the situation. Like you don't know what could happen.
Well, I remember the exact time I learned about the fucking widow appeal when it was there was an episode of Fresh Prince where he was babysitting Nikki, and he had the stroller, and like he
Mm-hmm.
pulled it up to the school, and like he got hit on by all these girls because he had the stroller with him. And then Will
Yep.
started being like, oh yeah, she left and she died in like a horrible fire accident. It's some crazy thing, and
Yes.
it's
Oh, it's
just
crazy.
ever since then it's just been me and the little guy, and they're all like, oh, and it's like, okay, right, got it.
Yeah.
Steal a kid and then pretend, and then use the clout, and then
Okay, I'm gonna really actually put my foot down and say, do not steal a kid to
okay,
impress chicks.
take your niece or your nephew when you're babysitting and maximize your clout for a little day
Yeah.
adventure, and then just hope that they never ask a follow-up question.
If you've got a puppy, that's good too.
For example, it's been 6 hours. Why haven't you changed the diaper yet? Do you not know how to change a diaper? I thought you were a single dad. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
run away.
There you go. You do it. Show me how good of a mom you can be. Yeah.
Okay, this is getting weird now.
Well, anyway, that Fresh Prince episode taught me everything I needed to know.
All right.
Um. Anyway, check that out over on Uli versus. I think on Saturday as well, we're gonna have a little special. I think I'm gonna do a little special crossover thing before getting to fighting games. We're gonna have. I'm gonna co-stream with Sharpie over on her.
Oh, the purple Sharpie.
The purple Sharpie. She's gonna be streaming over on TikTok, and I'll be joining her stream for a little bit of multiverses, I believe. So
Tell her I said hi. She's cool. She does good stuff.
she's very cool. Yeah.
I
So,
can't tell. Does she actually not like grapplers, or is it a gag? I can't. I legitimately can't tell.
dude, she comes from Skullgirls, man. Like,
Yeah.
grappler fear and hatred is built in to that game.
Okay. All right.
And yeah, we'll be doing a little thing on that, and then we'll be doing our Get Into Fighting Games. So come hang out. How about you?
Let's see. What the hell? What the hell I do this week? I played a bunch of old shit. I went back to Rumbleverse again. Yo, Rumbleverse fucking rules. That game's in such a good fucking place. I love it.
I'm buying all the cosmetics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of wailing on those cosmetics. I like them.
Are you using the creator code Pat Stares at?
No.
You should. Because you won't get anything out of it.
It's too late.
Yeah, Rumbleverse is really great. The only thing that I played this week that was new, aside from Street Fighter 6, which is shaping up to be excellent, was I played a boomer shooter that was on the Kickstarter called Prodeus, or Prodeus, probably.
Yes, yes.
I don't know if you've ever seen this game.
Proteus, yeah.
It's Doom. It's fucking Doom. It's a fucking you move around and you fucking shoot enemies with what guns, and it's 3D, 2D, and it's Doom. And the thing about it that really sells it is its visual presentation, because it is the wettest shooter.
Yeah, and it's also so weird because the guns have a lower frame rate than the world.
Okay, so get this. Okay. It has relatively high res modern 3D graphics. Like they're boomer shooter, but they're nice and clean. They're at whatever resolution that you have, right? Your gun and the enemies are like 1994 PC shooter game
Mm-hmm.
levels of animation,
Mm-hmm.
but they're actually models. And they're models that are being like specifically slowed
Filtered.
down and pixelated to shit, because you have
Okay.
the ability to go into the options and turn sprites off, and you see
Okay.
what the models look like. And the models look like shit because they were made to be turned into sprites.
But in Doom form, it works.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it looks
Okay.
really great. But the other thing is that they have decided,
Like
so every
Sonic,
game has like a
Sonic,
or,
the Sonic 3D game that did that I really
yeah,
liked.
every game has like a special effect that is the one that takes up like the most screen mind space, I'm gonna call it. Prodeus's is jibs. Not only does shit jib ludicrously, but like when you open up on dudes with machine gun, there is so much blood that fires out of these dudes. There's more blood than the enemies contain
Yes,
that come
no,
out of
every
them.
enemy is exploding into 3 times their volume worth of blood. Yeah.
Um, and it hits every surface within 5 feet of
And
that
then
enemy,
Splatoon happens.
including the ceiling. So like you'll blow away a bunch of fucking guys, and like they will literally be dripping off the fucking ceiling at the
Hmm.
end of the fight, and it's fucking wet.
Yeah, they're
The
they're
game
proud of
rules.
this liquid system. So I'm seeing here it's published by Humble Games.
Yeah, because
Interesting.
a Kickstarter game.
So Humble Bundle became a publisher.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's pretty cheap. It's fully 1.0. It is done. It's early access. It's fucking great. That's all there is to be said.
Is there
Fucking
anything
good game.
non-boomery about it while you boomer
No,
shoot? Okay.
there's nothing modern in this game at all.
Okay.
Um, it's and it also plays incredibly well with a controller, which I use to play it. But yeah, no, its claim to fame is that enemies have more blood than they have.
This looks good. Yeah.
Way more. I love it. And that's pretty much it for my week. Street Fighter 6 though. I hope they have another beta period.
Oh, for sure. They're gonna make some changes, and you're gonna come back, and Jamie's gonna have a fifth layer of drinking, or he's gonna start at level 1 or some shit. You know, there's always
I
yeah,
think
another
I
one.
think you would I think that character would be completely fucked busted if he only needed 3 drinks. I think 4 is
Um,
the right number.
yeah, no, it is. He's fine in that regard. Really, I just EX palm through the fireball is the only thing I'd ask for. It's the only thing I'd ask for. The rest is totally fine. Um, just based on how amazing zoning is, but it's gonna come back for sure. Um,
You know,
cool.
I'll take a Zangief trailer at this point. I wanna give me the Geef.
He's the only
Give me the
world
Geef.
warrior they didn't drop.
I saw the shittiest stupid ass take. It's like, do you think Geef hasn't been revealed yet because of world events?
What?
And it's like, fuck off.
Yes, people
Like,
can no longer be from Russia. Shut up.
like,
People are so stupid. Jesus Christ.
yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah, it's dumb, like fucking dumb. He's a pro wrestler too. He might not even be Russian.
Okay, well, maybe they'll rename the Ukrainian Borscht Slam
Yeah,
perhaps that will
yeah.
happen. But
I don't. They might take out the Zelensky stomper.
I don't. They might change things up a little bit, but I suspect it's probably not the reason why you haven't seen him yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what else is
What do we
going
got for
on?
news? Hey, is Far
Yo.
Cry 6 in the news?
It was not.
I just
Um.
want to say that Far Cry 6 has a $120 Game of the Year edition coming out, despite the fact that it didn't win that award from literally a single publication.
Oh no. But Game
Like,
of the Year
just
stopped meaning Game of the Year a long time ago.
uh, it usually meant they found one online whatever that gave it to them. But this one is actually at zero.
Damn. Okay, well, because I remember when we were talking about like the Game of the Year versions of things that just like they just self-proclaimed Game of the Year. They're just making it
Yeah,
themselves,
it's
whatever
good.
edition. I mean, hey, like Rumbleverse is now the official recipient of Apache Award. That has happened.
It's true.
So,
You can add that.
yeah. Um, no, that I the something from last week that like the amount of people that were just like I can't believe the saltiest podcast title I have ever seen in the form of beta codes for beta
Yeah.
males.
So it's great because it's like it's the context you had going in versus the context from within it.
If you just listen, if you just press the play button, you would hear the
No.
context.
No.
No, there's no
No,
time
I
for that.
don't want to.
So it spins off into its own world of like threads, fucking multiple entries deep of people creating whatever they think has happened, and it's like, for the love of God, just press play. It's
No, I don't want to. It
um.
takes too long.
So here's what's going on. PlatinumGames CEO Inaba comments on Babylon's Fall's closure for the first time. There's an article where he basically just breaks down how he wanted to talk about this for a long time, but obviously could not due to hands being tied with legal matters, as you would imagine. There's another publisher involved, yada yada. And they had a great relationship with Nier Automata. Yeah, they obviously probably don't want to sour that. But here's what he said about it. He feels extremely sorry about any disappointment caused to Platinum Games fans. He's frustrated he couldn't comment on it earlier. It won't change the studio's upcoming live service plans. They still intend to work on those games on their own volition. And they've gained valuable experience from this failed project. And something towards the end, which is I guess his come to Jesus moment on it, is essentially saying they ask questions that are kind of like, do you think that this is like, you guys were hampered by the publishing, or that there's other steps beyond your control that were taken to affect the way the game came out? And he said something to the effect of, keeping this answer limited to Babylon's Fall would skewer the discussion, I think. But like I said, if you're a developer and you're also the publisher, your role does change. If you have ultimate control over the title, you're not going to have any frustration in the long run, regardless of whether you're a developer or a publisher. If we hypothetically were to do everything on our own to develop the game with full control, then if we failed, it's pretty much 100% on us. And if we succeed, it's basically on us. We're not viewing ourselves as special in any kind of way if we were to go ahead and do everything ourselves. But this whole frustration story is something that we should not deny in this interview, but rather admit the fact and make the end result clear, move on, and connect this experience with our efforts going forward. So this is basically responding to the idea that like Square's involvement fucked it up, and he's saying something to the effect of, even if Square were not involved and it were us who had full control over it, some of the stuff we tried to do would have still fucked up. So we're still taking this as our own loss, regardless of the publishing.
I think it's really brave to be like, listen, any of the reasons that you think we fucked it up, that would have been mitigating were in fact actually completely our fault. We fucked it up all ourselves. By the way, full steam ahead for the exact same thing. Get excited, please.
We've learned our lessons. However, we are sticking to the same format. I mean, I guess the thought process is if the gameplay is good enough, then we can offer it as a live service and it'll be fine. And that'll help them
As
make
somebody
money
who
because they keep
as somebody who
scraping for money.
plays live service games and has played a lot, that's not true.
They're
That's
desperate.
not how
They're
that
desperate to get
works.
out of this like game to game bet the farm situation.
Like I
And
literally stopped playing multiverses because of the way the daily quests rolled out.
the I want to know the story on Grand Blue Relink and what the fuck happened there, because like when that eventually does come out, like will it look and play like what they were doing with it, or will it just be an inferior version? You know, it's strange to see them like on and off a project and then uncredited. So that was time and money probably wasted at some point. You know, Platinum's always like one hit away from shutting it all down or from keeping the lights on and flourishing for a period, you know? I feel like post Automata, they were probably at their healthiest, but
You
like,
know, I feel bad because like we're making fun of them making a live service bomb, but at the same time they're sitting around going, "So what do we do?" And somebody raises their hand and went, "What if we put out another amazing action game that didn't sell anything? What if we did that again?"
yeah,
What are you gonna
yeah,
fucking do?
yeah. Um, yeah, stuff with like Star Fox where they came in, they played a role with the assets, but that's on Nintendo, you know? Like anytime they come in as a little side thing, there's limited liability there. But yeah, the thought here is, you know, just Babylon's Fall, even if we had full control, probably would have still failed. Um, is the takeaway. So if that's what you say, um, now we'll see how Bayo 3 performs. Um, I imagine it'll do it'll outdo Bayo 2, but it's not gonna be a fucking Breath of the Wild moment for the Switch, you know. If Metroid Dread at Christmas, as a big hotly anticipated first party title ain't gonna grab more than 3 mil, then Bayonetta 3 is gonna do what Bayo kind of does, you know. It's just that like I feel like they're safe as long as another near game is probably in the pipeline somewhere. And then if they're not, then it's back to being the guns for hire situation that was described from years past.
I think they're gonna go back to guns for hire, but not before they waste a ton of money. Just a ton of money.
Um, yeah. Would an Astral Chain 2 be a thing?
Hopefully, that game's great.
It's good. It broke a mill. Sure.
I'm worried because as somebody who plays like Japanese live service games and has played around, like I feel like we're going to be in a place where much like Babylon's Fall, they're going to announce their new live service game and I'm going to look at it like good for like a couple minutes and be like, "Oh yeah, no, that's going to bomb."
Hmm.
Like 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 that, like very clear.
I
Very clear.
I I have to say, like, I think there were times when it seemed like it would go this way, and then there was, you know, interviews that seemed like they'd resist acquisition. But I think if things get particularly bad, the world we're heading for is one where we'll just get an announcement one day that says Microsoft now owns Platinum, right?
Yep.
Like you wouldn't think they'd go back that way, but bam, acquisition world, here we come. Everything they make is now exclusive, and then that'll be that.
They bought them for 2 cans of coffee and a couple sandwiches from the Combini.
cold sandwiches.
Yeah, they didn't even heat them.
That just put that in your heart and save it for a rainy day.
Dude, playing Rumbleverse makes me like so pissed off about Anarchy Reigns, like you wouldn't believe.
Anarchy World.
Like it was right there. It was just too early.
Generic characters finding movesets. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um. Also, you'd need Epic server money.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
ultimately,
you
a
would.
big part of like Rumbleverse existing is it's backed up by something that can have Fortnite servers paying for it. So,
Yeah.
what else is going on? Well, we got a look at Mario, and the trailer played, and guess what? As
Hey,
I exactly predicted. It's
everyone did, dude. That you're
Yep.
not special. We
No.
all felt the same exact way.
It's like, hey, this cast looks pretty solid. Probably gonna be fine. What's Chris gonna do? Is he gonna just talk like Chris? Okay, cool. There he is.
Hey, it's a me Mario.
Slight Brooklyn accents for people that are getting a lot of people. A lot of people weirdly are like, I'm upset that they just ignored the fact that Chris is doing a slight Brooklyn accent. It's like, really? That's enough
I
for it
could
to
do
matter to
that.
you? Really?
Hey, it's me Mario. Fucking lasagna barf.
I then went on to learn about uh God, what was the word? Was it like star washing? Something that basically a number of
What?
very very talented voice actors spoke on Twitter about about basically when a franchise has built itself up on a number of talented voice actors and then Hollywood steps in and then just ignores them all completely.
Oh, it's the way voice acting is treated
Stunt
in
casting.
film
Excuse me.
is disgusting.
Stunt casting is the
Um,
word.
you
Yes.
you have voice actors who are talented, prolific, and completely embody roles for, in some cases, years or decades. And it's like, yeah, but who's a hot actor
Draw.
that we
Needs a
can
draw. Needs a
that
draw.
we that that we can say is in the movie,
Yeah.
right?
Um, Comic Book Girl 19, or Danica 19, rather, did point out in this video from a while ago. It's like, here's a list of 30 A-listers that get original movies made. If you don't have this name attached in some way, shape, or form, you're not getting your movie made. You can nowadays maybe sometimes if the director is known, you can get it through Searchlight or A24. But boy, are you being gate kept out of original ideas, or even in some cases IPs that people know, but they just don't have enough pushing power. You got to get a Chris Pratt name, or you got to get some kind of name, someone on that list of 30 or so, that
It's
makes shit
it's
happen.
really it's really extra weird because it's like, well, we need the big Hollywood stars to draw it. I'm like, it's Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Character's more recognizable than fucking Mickey Mouse. You don't
Um,
need a fucking.
yeah.
It's.
So, and never mind whatever role, cameo Charles Martinet is going to play necessarily, but the funny thing then came to in the form of a French trailer. Where have you heard French Mario?
Yes, it's voiced by the guy who does Thancred Waters in French, I believe.
Guess what?
He's perfect.
Sounds like Mario.
Yeah, perfect.
Like he throws a little wahoo at the end. It's fucking
Yep.
Mario, you know? So that's what's up.
It's
Um,
extra wild because you get to hear Luigi for like literally 1 second, and Charlie Day's like is perfect,
it is
and
doing
Jack
it.
Black's Bowser is perfect.
Yep. And it's almost as if all of the accent and the wahoo was in Mario's ass.
Almost.
That's where it was all located, it turns out. So you take the ass away, and then you lose all that, and you just get, hey, it's me. It's Chris. He literally had a vine that was him going, hey, it's me, Mario. There's my voice. No, it's not going to be that. It's going to be better than that. And then it
And it's
actually
not. It's
turned out
exactly
to
the
be
same.
that. And then it just
Like,
100% turned out to be that. Yeah.
I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I
Hand
like
kill ass, bro.
phone like fuck phoning it in. He's
FaceTimed
like
it in.
Discord calling it in.
Yeah.
Like just God damn it.
When he was talking and he was like, yeah, I remember I loved stomping on Koopas. And I'm just like, he's about to just be like, and running around getting rings with tails. And like, oh no, man. Oh no, dude.
Listen, you don't need to know. It's not important, right? It's an acting role, but the pretending and failing is way worse than just going, yeah, I don't know, video games, they're not my thing. That's way worse than that.
Yeah. Yeah. Um so yeah, stunt casting, a term I didn't know before. Now here's the other bit, right? Idris Elba as Knuckles was fucking phenomenal. That worked really well. Sonic shows you a couple of instances of like where it's like, oh, yeah, okay, that works. And the surrounding cast in Mario does show off people that I'm like, I can see that. When Sebastian Maniscalco came up, I was like, yeah, that sounds about right for like a New York kind of scumbag sort of voiced guy. Like you can kind of imagine it in your head. But that the main one is just the one that makes the least amount of sense, and it's gonna probably feel that way the entire time.
Oh, it sure is. It sure is.
Anyway, so give him his ass back, and
Hey, it's me, Mario.
and tell him to fucking try a little harder, and we'll see what we get. Speaking
That
of,
shit's already done. That shit
it's
is
super
already recorded.
done. It's way too late. Of course, I know. Speaking of fucking asses being blown out, Jesus fucking Christ, poor Adriana Chechik
And
was.
the other people that also got horribly injured by the same thing.
I didn't see anyone else. Really?
There are at least 3 the last I checked.
Oh my god! Over at TwitchCon, they had a jumping, basically like a ball pit, but it was these like soft cubes, which turned out to A, not be very soft, and B, the floor was immediately underneath them, so there was no like depth. Floor. Usually, when you put a ball pit down, there's depth.
You gotta have like a foot or two.
A pool
of yeah.
And so this was just a flat ass floor with a couple of cubes blocking it. So she just did a full sit, jumping from a platform onto it, and then has broken 2 separate places of her back, and immediately had to be like carried out of this ball pit at TwitchCon.
A metal rod put in her spine.
Fucking insane.
Also,
super serious injury.
There was also a dislocated knee and a broken ankle. And then they kept it open.
So that's what I'm like, so wait, you're saying there were prior instances?
Yeah. And people were being incentivized to do big jumps off of it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I saw some folks say that because they signed a waiver, it sucks because they can't
lawsuits.
Sue. Yeah. I saw also a bunch of lawyers responding to that going, yeah, no, they can't make you sign a waiver against something that's like willfully negligent and then encourage you to hurt yourself,
leading to permanent damage that debilitates you and like is a problem for the rest of your life.
Yeah, the waiver is to make you feel like you can't sue.
Yeah. No, just like the end user license agreement, just like, any of that like horseshit like you have no rights contractually. It's like, yeah, until something happens, and then we'll see what the judge has to say. But
Yes, someone somewhere along the line, somebody is directly responsible for the guys building the pit and them saying, "I don't know about this," and they go, "No, no, no, it's fine."
like the fact that it crushes in, like barely. There's no when you see her jump off, and she doesn't fall into it. She just stays above it the whole time, and then the earth, then the solid ground is right underneath, and it's like, yep, that's the moment when fucking spine hit the floor.
Mhm.
Jesus. It was a booth hosted by Intel and Lenovo. Ah, so it was a Intel booth inside of TwitchCon. I see.
Okay, just there's somebody to go after. Someone is responsible.
Yep. Um,
It reminds me of a really funny argument we once had about Dead or Alive DLC, which is someone did this. This is someone's fault. This is not the world's fault or the ether's fault. Somebody somewhere
with a name and a yes,
gave the thumbs up
OSHA.
on the go ahead.
Whatever you have to look at regulatory wise, but no. I hope Adriana can sue the shit out of anyone that is responsible for destroying her back. That's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Um. All right, couple other things going on. We got a little bit more follow up on the Zaum situation, as Martin Luiga has answered some more
Speaking
questions.
of lawsuits,
Yes, fans have the right to know. So they, yeah, Martin Luiga sat down and gave a bit more of a breakdown on the full-on cultural association dissolution and how things are going. There's a full on history course on like the how they all came together and the Estonian community that was formed. But key takeaway that I thought was interesting to hear in regards to the collective effort says, I think Zaum in its studio in its current form will not be developing the sequel, and I am unsure of the number of people left in the company who also worked on the original Disco. However, we can still expect some amazing stuff in the future coming from Kurvitz, Hindpier, and Rostov, who did not say the last word. Who did not say the last word in game dev. I think the three will continue making games. As for myself, I haven't decided my level of involvement yet. Right now, it's mostly a phase of pondering ideas and managing our problems. So, at the very least, Luiga is figuring out what he wants to do, but the others that left the creative are still interested in making games.
they need to make they need to make a game called Punk Heaven. No, you know what they need to do? They need to make a game called No Time for the Furies
No
or
truce with the Furies.
No Truce with the
Yep,
Furies.
Nick, that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's it. Alternatively, as somebody points out in the chat, a really good name would be Bisco Belizium.
Sure, sure, sure. But this time around, fuck truce with the Furies.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Terrible and Sacred Air is still his book, so
Yeah.
you get to take that with you wherever you go. I really do. Yeah, I'm like in all this horseshit. It's nice to hear that they are still interested because again, they clearly had so much more going on with the cultural community and association. And, it's very easy to just look and be like, well, that was a fun little experiment. Fuck video games. On with the rest of
Yeah.
my life. So that's cool. Speaking of course, creating video games and such, a Hideo Kojima game, Cross Elle Fanning, Koji Pro, announcement. Who am I? It's
I didn't hear about this. What the fuck is this?
They have released through their official channels, which means Jeff Keighley's Twitter and the Koji Pro
Oh, I
website, is just a picture
see.
of Elle Fanning, possibly a detailed model, really. There was a face and shadow before, so I think it is just a 3D model. And I don't fully recognize her, but I did look up and I saw that she was the girl in Neon Demon. So I know you loved that movie. Like, what even? Yeah, no. The one after.
Yeah.
It was remember Drive?
No.
Okay, Drive was really good. The guy.
I'm aware that what I know about Drive is that Drive created a new type of weirdo that weirdos pretend to be, and then pretend that they've never seen the movie Drive.
Well, yeah, I could see that. I know what you're kind of talking about. Fortunately, the thing itself is pretty good because Drive was like, what if those arcadey synthwave aesthetic things we like in games? What if you made a movie with that, with a protagonist that was the guy that would drive those cars? It was good. But we also found out through that about Nicholas Winding Refn, who's a good director, made Only God Forgives, which was fucking crazy. Good in some places, just wild and awful in others, but overall very creative movie. Weird director, but interesting stuff. And then the third movie he made was The Neon Demon, and I guess that's who this lady is. So I know you didn't, but for anybody listening that might know what I'm talking about, there's your point of reference. And that seems to be what the next Kojima game is.
This is not enough details.
Nope, it's a star who's associated with the project. In Koji
he
fashion.
Really is Hollywood. Just announce the project with the fucking name.
He's all the way in and then some. He can't, like, to him, this is the announcement. Like, this is so exciting to show you who I'm working with. I can't believe it. Look.
I don't care. I never cared. No one cares.
It's big.
I wasn't excited for Death Stranding because Norman Reedus was in it.
It's like when you're too in it, like, and you're just eating it up and swallowing like every aspect of the Hollywood life, like that, like names are good enough as announcements. It's big. It's big yay energy pre current circumstances. It's big Kanye.
Oh, yeah?
Big previous energy. Yeah.
What circuit? What are you talking about?
What's he up to? He's
what?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Let me look this up. Well, let's see what yay energy is.
Like Kanye, in the
yeah,
well, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Can we get much higher? So high. Oh. Yeah. So anyways, prior to that, I feel like he would do things like, yo, it's a picture of me and just some artist or some person or some business, and like just and just be like the announcement of the name and then like Gucci, and it's like, shit, I don't even know what it's gonna be, but just that on its own is hype beast, let's go. It's a bit of that kind of vibe of like you got to be in and just fully on board with it. Yeah, Koji's he's doing that thing, man, or he's like, God, he's like, I'm going to stay in my video game like hovel because that's what I've become known as, but I'm gonna stare up at the Hollywood sign longingly every night and just reach my hand out to it.
What if I was Hollywood?
he had them develop an environment where he could actually touch it in VR. Anyway,
Couldn't he just go to LA and just touch it? Like, he has the means.
I'm sure he can and does. Yes, we'll find out more, I suppose. So that's what's going on there. Steam decks are getting re-upped for orders around, and they've put some new promotional material out, which has been very interesting. I don't know if you saw the new trailer.
I did.
In that trailer, they showed off some recent games, and there's a couple of things on that, like, for example, Hades and Tunic.
Mm-hmm.
And over at the end of the recent games list is Yuzu, the Switch emulator. Right there in the promotional material.
Well, you know.
They then pulled the trailer down and put it up, and that was gone. But, you know, it's there.
I mean, yeah. Right? Like,
it's deck ready.
You would.
It's apparently deck ready. So that is the most knowing fucking bullshit thing I've seen from them in like a goddamn, like, that's crazy. That is such a deliberate move to be like, oh, by the way, that thing that you kind of, you know, our direct competitor. Yeah, what
if? I mean, you wouldn't, but you could, but you wouldn't. But you could.
And then pulled down quickly enough to create a story about it, where if you go back to the original video, it's not there, and now it's just replaced with a screenshot of Portal 2. So, hey.
Smart.
Yep.
Smart.
That's scum shit, man. That's getting dirty. That's getting dirty.
I love it.
Like, imagine a fucking Sega ad back in the day when they're doing the Sega does what Nintendo don't and the putt Mario Kart thing. And then they're just, by the way, here's SNES 9X running on a Genesis.
Dude, I mean, that's crazy, but you got to remember, there used to be like Sega ads that were like, if you like play Nintendo games, you are like a diaper baby. And there were also ads that were like, if you play our competitors' games, you suck cocks.
Absolutely. They definitely did all of the above. But the part
fucking crazy.
But the part where you said, and by the way, you could just play their games on our shit anyways, is a whole other level. Because you're not supposed to acknowledge that world.
No, you're not. It's supposed to be a secret.
It's an unwritten rule.
Big secret.
You know? Damn. Like, Bleem for Dreamcast was a thing, but the Sega wasn't going to officially advertise Bleem for Dreamcast. That was just a product that you would buy at your GameStop that happened to be on the shelf.
Right next to it.
Yeah. Buy it with your copy of Devil Kings, which confusingly has the same font as Devil May Cry.
That's strange. Listen. PlayStation 2 piracy is obviously wrong. I'm just saying that I'm going to sell you this test disc for funsies, and I'm also separately going to sell you this little piece of plastic that I don't know what you do.
I don't know what it does. I have no idea what this plastic does.
Like, I heard a guy over there said that you could like jam it into your PlayStation 2 to like pull the disc tray out for some reason. I don't know why. But here's your debug test disc called, what's it called?
Swap Magic.
Swap Magic.
And here's called that. And here's a box of random plastic trinkets for you to have fun with.
Unrelated box of little pieces of plastic that you can play with.
Yeah, little toys. Collecting toys for your dog. That's why I have fun. Oh man. So what did they say? They said Crash 4 It's About Time is coming to Steam October 18th,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's nice.
a new Crash game is teased to come on December 8th as well. So I guess that franchise is just back to full cycle.
I thought the devs got moved to do Call of Duty maps.
Um, what do we know about this? Yeah, no mention of who's working on it.
Hmm.
That was Vicarious Visions. It's a live service game.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Well, there's some Crash stuff happening. Um, and you were saying that It's About Time is really, really good, right?
That's what I've heard, but I haven't personally played it.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought. Oh no, you were talking about not Sly Cooper. Um, the ones with the Jack and Daxter? No.
What the
What's the
fuck are you talking about?
What's the franchise that just came out that had the PS5 like Portal Tech?
Ratchet and Clank.
That's the one. Thank you. I said every other one besides
Yeah,
that
you
one.
sure did.
Yeah. Well, I haven't played any of them, so they're floating about. I'm just trying to remember
They're good.
the
They're
shape of the
kind of all
mascots.
good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was
Don't care for Spyro myself personally, but I know some people like it.
I touched Spyro demo disc for a little bit, and I thought it was pretty alright. Then
Oh,
the character action Game Boy game was pretty sick. Um. All right, and then there was an announcement here, but you had something?
no. What
Okay.
I had was the hard drive ripped me off again.
No, we can't play this game, dude. We can't play this game.
I play this game every day in my life. You can't tell me not to play it.
They've made articles going fucking streamer says, "Oh my god, it's me. I can't believe it's me," in response to hard drive articles. So the call out to the call out has already been called out.
No, it's me.
Like there's a direct article that gets reposted from time to time that is them like cold responding to these idiots keep talking about how we make articles based on them. Shut the fuck up, idiots. We write our own articles.
No, but me.
Okay. That's good. I'm
But
convinced.
me though.
That's yeah. All right. You won
That's
me.
that's my
You
response.
won me over. So yeah, the the last thing was there's a new series or a new game announced, and it's today is the 10th, so actually it's allowed to be discussed. EA and Koei Tecmo are working on a game called Wild Hearts, which is a hunting action game from Omega Force, and it'll basically be the Koei Tecmo take on Monster Hunter.
You know, my favorite story about Koei Tecmo making hunting games was when they were doing Tokiden 2. They were asked by an interviewer, how do you think Capcom feels about you guys so clearly taking inspiration from Monster Hunter? To which they responded, I don't know, how do you think they felt when they made Sengoku Basara after taking that inspiration from Dynasty Warriors?
That's funny. So I actually got to check out an early reveal of this last week, and there was a whole detailed breakdown on it and stuff about the what it would be, and then there was a gameplay section. I didn't jump on the gameplay demo. I didn't have the time to, but I did watch the reveal of what it would be, and what does seem to be interesting about it right off the bat is the part where it's like they directly say that this is built to like with the lessons from Neo, and it's built with combat that feels Neo-like, but it's being implemented into a hunting game style environment.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the main things they have is like, so you do the co-op, you hunt down the giant beast, and so on. Excuse me, but what I guess their unique angle is setting up like little trap tables and little gear.
Yeah, or like build up like a little tower you can jump off of and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Karikura is what they were called, and when you set up a little table, you can kind of Fortnite it to either be like a really tall thing that you want to just get a height advantage from, or it can slingshot you onto the back of the monster, or it can set up a giant hammer and then you can lead the monster over to it and then it'll like knock it out and shit like that. So
They need to put out a 25-minute video that is like a full hunt start to finish.
there's a
Because
7 minute. Go ahead.
the beast they're trying to run up against is Monster Hunter, and that's been so entrenched for so long. Like people need to see what it actually is.
There's a whole like they know how much they're trying to like win you over from an established thing. So like the amount of detail they're going in on like the smallest little bits and stuff seems quite granular. But as someone who's looking at it from an outside perspective, I can say that like it seems as if there's a 7 minute video of like them hunting a giant frog thing. And then
Is there? Okay.
Yeah. And then there's some more just details on like multiplayer with setting up the little machines and stuff. And I guess it's kind of like setting up traps in Monhan and whatnot. But this is the thing that I hear that is like always interesting is like, okay, but Neo combat though, that's a good place to start, right? So at bare minimum, it's going to feel good to swing things around, and that's pretty dope. Plus lots of airborne shit, I guess, in combination with it. So, it's called Wild Hearts, not Sayonara Wild Hearts, mind you. So, poo-poo on that game overlap name.
I'm going to say something really strange. I'm going to say something really, really strange as I am watching this footage of this samurai man fight the boar monster. This game looks very good, high quality graphics. The good graphics seem to significantly hurt the game's readability.
Huh. Interesting.
The area that he's fighting the boar in is like very heavily flowery, and like at certain camera angles, the flowers literally block the camera, and the boar like blends in with the ground fairly strongly.
Well, legibility has never been the strongest priority for the Musou franchise,
or Neo even.
So, that's not super surprising to hear. But they did get the hang of like killing big thing hunting things when they also made the Attack on Titan games and Tokiden, right?
Yeah. Also, it's weird, but they're not using target lock in the demo, which is actually fairly strange. But I'll try it out. I'll give it a shot. Tokiden 2 is actually a pretty fun game. It's no Monster Hunter.
I heard good things.
It's fun.
So, the question...
It came out at a time when Monster Hunter was, like, sleeping.
But wasn't also Tokiden the only Monster Hunter challenger in recent years at all?
There were a bunch, but it was the only one that really, like, hit. People like God Eater, but God Eater was never going to beat Monster Hunter.
Oh, God Eater, that's true. Right, Vita stuff.
And there was Freedom Wars, and Freedom Wars was fucking cool, but it was never going to be Monster Hunter.
Those are all Vita games, right?
Yeah, and Soul Sacrifice, which I really like.
Okay.
But Soul Sacrifice is no Monster Hunter.
So
they're all Vita games because Monster Hunter wasn't on the Vita.
Yeah. So, So like, were there any console challengers? Well, no, because they just made the jump to World to console anyway.
Yeah.
So right.
Yeah.
Okay. This is all new. Yeah.
Yeah, and Dauntless came out on PC, and Dauntless is trash.
Dauntless, wasn't that a hero team shooter thing? No?
It's a it was it was a game that got announced as like it's like Monster Hunter, but for the PC because that'll never happen. And then like within its early access period, World was announced and came out, and it's a
Hmm.
fucking million times better than it.
I thought Dauntless was a free to play team combat thing. Okay. Oh, it is a Monster Hunter. Okay.
And it sucks. It's bad.
Hmm. Well, yeah, no, well, these guys do good combat. There's reason to at least raise an eyebrow here.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
watching it now. It definitely controls way, 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 way more like a action game than a hunting game. So that'll be interesting.
and what did they say? They said there's a lot of weapons too. Like right off the bat, there's like a big count of like
What is a big count? Because Monster Hunter's up to 14 now.
where was the yeah, I was again like back when I was watching the preview event, I was kind of like it's a little over my head here, but playing online, gearing up, hunting, building, crafting. Did they drop a number?
People are saying 8.
Okay. I don't remember the number they said. It's not in the announcement here. I don't think anything else is embargoed, but they did. They said a lot of weapons, so
There's big weapon.
whatever that means.
Actually,
How many
going back to
weapons
that
are in
Steam Deck,
Neo?
Neo, 5, 6, 7, 7. Speaking of the Steam Deck, I actually ordered a Steam Deck. I'm gonna give it a shot.
Okay.
Now that it has a dedicated dock and it's basically a Valve Tendo Switch.
Um.
Um,
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and I kind of realized I'm like I have no use case for this in my life. Uh,
I do.
occasionally outside.
No, not outside. Like the new place is big enough that I don't want to just be hanging out in the office all the time.
Okay. Um. Yeah, I just kind of look and was like the little times that I would feel like using the Switch on the go would be to travel, and almost exclusively every time I bring it with me after I travel, I don't end up using it. So,
Yeah.
most cases I either can work on my phone and do what I want to do, or I'll just set up something on the TV and that'll be fine. So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like I would get it if it worked perfectly for fighting games. At which case, then it would be
Yeah.
a traveling tournament machine, for like
Yeah.
hotel
Depends
room
on the fighting game, I
setups.
guess.
Yeah, so hotel room setups would be a perfect solution. But anything outside of that, and I don't have a use case.
You was gonna use words. You can play FF14 on it,
Ah, yeah, okay, yeah.
which has a definite fucking use case.
Right. Plus, you can plug in controllers too, right? You got
Yep.
all that. Yeah. Okay. I mean, just when they showed off like Strive running, and then it turned out that was a lie.
Yeah.
That was not super encouraging. I don't know if they got a deck ready since, but like, don't make it seem as if this is the perfect solution to tournaments, and then like not actually deliver on that immediately. Because people were looking at it like I know Jabali like bought a couple and ran some tests because it was like the hardest thing about running tournaments is for games on PC is like getting a bunch of same spec, same system, unique experience, PC setups, large and expensive with the right tech. It's just hard and impractical. A PlayStation will always just be an easier thing to travel with. But if you could just buy a
Mhm.
couple of these and set them up, that'd be a fucking dream. But yeah, so far they have not been capable of like more complicated fighting games. Simpler
So
2D stuff works,
I am looking at a gentleman um, playing Bridget in Strive on a deck.
Okay, so they patched it to fix that. Cool.
I think no. I think the solution is up to you to patch it, to fix it.
Because literally backgrounds were not showing up.
Yeah. So the description of this is just a performance test using Proton GE to fix background videos not playing sometimes.
I see. Okay. Well, anyways, let's take some letters.
Hey, if you want to send in a letter, go ahead and send it to castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. That's castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com.
Here is one coming in from... What did you call yourself? Raven says, Dear Sir Willington and Father Bartholomew, I have served at the GameStop trenches for almost 3 years from 2008 to 2010. During this time, one of the rarest and most sought-after games was Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It was so rare at that GameStop, notorious for price gouging, that even then they'd slap a $40 cash on the table to get a copy for a trade in good condition because they knew that it would turn around for at least $89 and it would instantly sell. For most of my tenure at the store, there were 3 copies of Marvel 2 for PS2 in existence at the GameStop database in the US, one in Hawaii, and one in Colorado. When I saw nothing in town on the East Coast, I happened to work at one of these stores, but I won't say which for reasons that'll become clear shortly. Roughly once a month or so, someone would come in asking if we still had Marvel 2 ported our way by other GameStops, and we always had to say the same song and dance of sorry, it's a glitch in the system, we don't actually have it here, I don't know why it says we do, yada yada. This was obviously disappointing as some of the potential customers had traveled a considerable distance trying to get it. But the sad truth is we knew exactly why the system said we had a copy. It wasn't even 10 feet away from the register, tucked away in the reserved box in the back room. It was an under-the-table policy at GameStop, at least in our store, that if a game came in and you traded, and a trade that you wanted, you could set it aside for yourself so that you could save up for it. This is precisely what the assistant manager did with that copy of MVC2, but he never got around to actually buying it, as he was always pumping money into his car instead. Because of this, the rest of the staff, myself included, were forced to keep lying about the game's whereabouts because we knew we would be instantly fired if we ever caved and sold it to someone else. By the time I left the store to take up a job doing graveyard shift tech support, the copy remained unsold. I say all this because there's a non-zero chance at least one of the listeners is a victim of our lies, and if so, I sincerely apologize for my part in perpetuating them, especially if I was the one who lied to your face. I hope if you manage to find a better alternative to your quest for a copy than shelling out money to GameStop's glorified pawn shop empire.
This always makes me think of, hey, I want a new game. Okay, and then they walk over to get the disc out of a sleeve and give it to you, and you're like, "That's not a new
Why
game."
are you opening up my game? Yep.
And that bullshit. And sometimes I cave, sometimes I wouldn't, depending on how much it mattered to me. But the one that always got me, for Castlevania, I want to say Portrait of Ruin, but it's been so long that I forget. But one of the DS Castlevania games, I pick it up, I buy it. It's day one, and I put it in, and there's a fucking clear save.
The clear save, yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, that's what I fucking thought. That's why you guys fucking gut the fucking cases. So you can get around to embargo and just fucking play games the fucking day they come in. And that's why Halo and Pokemon had those absurd palettes that had the super tape on them.
Yes. So it's not why, but it is a byproduct. The reason why is because during the Deus Ex era, when you remember, and the Mortal Kombat 9 era, it was so that games that came with digital download codes for stuff could be opened up and they could take that shit out because digital downloads hurt GameStop. So they wanted to take away things you were supposed to get with your copy of the game. And they opened up every copy of Human Revolution and ripped out a digital download code from it to give you it without it. Now, opening up the game as policy is just, as a byproduct, they can take out and put what they want in there. And also their people can actually use them and do shit like what you just described. But it's bullshit.
Really, it's really shocking to me because people, like, once internet speeds got to a certain point, people like massively embraced digital distribution, even with all the problems associated with it, of which there are many. Nintendo shows us that constantly, and it literally just always boiled down to, where's the easiest place for me to buy games? Is it GameStop or EB Games or whatever? And just going in is such a consistently fucking miserable experience. Just, hey, I ordered this game. Is it here? No. Why not? Well, check back in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Every Thursday, 2 weeks. KOF. Do you have KOF 11 yet? Yeah, I know it says it should be here, but we'll have it next week. Next week on Thursday, huh? Yep. Okay. How long are we going to play this game? Is it your policy to just tell me to come back every 2 weeks? Like, am I going to show up and you're going to make an embarrassed face because you don't know what to say to me because you didn't think I'd actually show up? Because I'm here. What do you got for me this week? And, like, on the third or fourth week after my reservation was there, dude straight up just gave me I don't know what you want from me, man. And I'm like, okay.
I want my game.
Yeah, that like straight up just then like what like I know you're not the shipper, but why are you lying to me, you know?
Just say I don't know the first time.
So the silver lining in this email for Raven over here, I can say, is that it sounds like you feel really bad about all the people that came in and were unable to acquire a copy of the game that they were looking for. They wanted their Marvel 2 and they didn't get it. Fortunately, I can say this: you should not feel bad because you saved those people from purchasing what is known as the worst version of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 possible. The port for PS2 is ass. It's horrible.
It's the only one I've played.
It has frame rate drops out the fucking ass, and they fixed a bunch of glitches that are like game known, like competitive bugs that people want to be in the game for combos and shit. So they completely just fucked it up. And it performs worse. It performs worse, and it patched shit that people didn't want patched out. So the PS2 version of Marvel 2 sucks. They were spared. So you don't feel too bad about it. Dreamcast version, that's your best bet.
I actually have a fairly similar story. Do you remember the Radio Shack in Atwater Plaza?
Yeah.
Do you remember when I went and bought a Razer phone and it had dude's numbers in it?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah. There were people's numbers in it, and I fucking called one of them. I called the first one, and they're like, "Hello?" I'm like, "Who is calling you right now?" And they hung up on me. And I was like, "Okay, fuck this." And returned it and just fucking never looked back.
Man.
Like, I don't want your fucking phone that you ripped out of a thing to do drug deals on, or whatever the fuck that was.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. 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 It's scumbag shit. Anytime you don't get it sealed in the fucking box, like, no. We're not doing this.
You know what might be the most condescending thing someone's ever said to me in retail ever? But you opened it. It's not a new game. It's you. I can see you're taking the disc out of a sleeve. To which the GameStop man, who was a guy I knew from high school, looked at me and said, "Well, I mean, we have like a plastic machine. Do you want me to reseal it?"
Yeah.
because I can
Yeah.
just go in the back and I can
Yeah.
reseal it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, and my brain is like, wait, so you're telling me that none of the ones that are sealed might
Yeah.
actually be really sealed? And he was like, no. And I'm like, okay, I'm out. Goodbye. I'm out of here.
Like, I remember when I bought a Game Boy Advance game, and like, even out, like, there's something about like the box for that with a booklet in it and everything. It's not just like a disc tray, it's like a full on fucking cartridge box. And I'm like, you have just a stack of them. It was Metroid Zero Mission, I think, just in a drawer in front of you, just scattered about. And you just grabbed in, rummaged, and grabbed one out and threw it in the box and handed it to me. And I'm like, I can see the Nintendo seal sliced through on the box. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Why? You know? Yeah, man.
Can you imagine that for any other product? Like, hey man, I want a vacuum cleaner. Okay. And then he goes into like a big box and just pulls a vacuum cleaner out and then puts it into the vacuum cleaner box and goes, hey, here you go. Especially for something as fragile as discs. I got discs out of the sleeve that were broken, that had been scratched into unusability.
Yeah.
And they gave me shit and like for damaging it. And I'm like, I went home and came back immediately. I've been gone for 2 hours. Do you really think? And I'm trying to return it for the same game. Why are you giving me fucking shit?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Brick and mortar, man.
Yeah, so yeah,
Or
just make sure.
I told the Shenmue story many times, but just you rent a 4-disc game from Microplay, you take it home, the first disc is scratched, it doesn't work. I come back and they accuse me of having damaged the game, and I'm like, it clearly I just got it was 20 minutes ago. I walked in, put it in a disc, and it didn't play, and I walked back here and said, hey, it doesn't work, and now you're saying it's damaged and I have to pay for the whole copy of the game? Fuck you. What the fuck? You know? And just to the level of like, well, sorry then, you know, it's if you're not willing to replace the full copy, then that's going to be it for your membership, you know? And then just like back and forth and bullshit to eventually just like, okay, here, you know what? How about this? Okay? I'll pay your disc damage for this, and you give me discs 2, 3, and 4, seeing as this is a 4-disc game, and those are all fine. I'll just take those.
If you're telling me I have to buy it because I broke it, give it to me.
Then suddenly, well. All right, hey man, how about this? You just give me 20 square and it'll be flat, right? How about that? Just give me 20 flat. Fuck you! You fucking piece of shit. Now you just want a 20 flat for you to keep this with the 3 other discs that are fine, which you should have no reason to want anymore, because it's only one of the 4 that's the such Dude, pieces of shit. Like,
just make sure. Hey, digital is weird with rights. It can take a long time to download your internet cap or whatever. Like anything to avoid going into a game retailer ever again.
I mean, lest we forget like 2 years ago when they were like forcing people into like fucking mid-pandemic, like you must stay open and breathe in from people's mouths in order to pre-order their games.
I didn't even get a console from fucking a game retailer or even a big box store. I ordered it like through Amazon or like the Shoppers Drug Mart.
The police will try to shut you down. Show them this piece of paper that says this is essential work. Anyways. Yeah. You saved people from the worst version of the game, so let that be on your conscience. You'll be okay. Here's one coming in from Marcus, who says, cheers, Pat and Wooly. Marcus here. I was listening to a random clip on the previous podcast where Pat mentioned the anterograde amnesia that's so rare it might as well be a fictional condition. Reminded me of a famous case of Clive Waring. He was an English musician conductor that after a case of encephalitis in 1985 developed the most aggressive case of amnesia perhaps ever recorded, since he now has both anterograde and retrograde amnesia, meaning that
Oh my god.
he cannot form new memories since becoming ill, and memories from before the event have been slowly being erased. Doctors speculate that he has a short memory span, between 7 and 30 seconds, in which afterwards he completely forgot everything that just happened. He knows, for example, that he has children, but he can't recognize them, and he still thinks they're teenagers, despite all being in their 50s. He can't learn new things by he can learn new things by repetition, like where the coffee in the bathroom is, but otherwise he just lives in limbo of 30-second awakenings where he believes he just came out of a coma. The only person he recognizes is his wife, and although he is aware of his condition, he more or less is settled with it, and his violent and confused outbursts have stopped over the years, a fact that doctors can't really explain why. One thing, the only thing that wasn't destroyed by the virus was his musical ability, and he can still sit down and play piano like he always has. There's two documentaries about him, one from '86 and one from 2005. Both are on YouTube. It's one of the most nightmarish conditions I've ever heard of, and I thought it would be an interesting thing to share.
So with anterograde, what appears to be the case is if you have strong anterograde amnesia for long enough, and you repeat things enough times, the tiny pieces of those events, if hit with enough repetition, will get through into a new thing, which would explain the lack of violent outbursts.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if he's been doing this for decades, he's probably just literally tired.
Yeah. Like your brain, after the first, let's say, 1,000 of them, will have to start, within a couple days, will have to start getting used to the process of being violently like, oh, what's going on? Which I can imagine will numb over time. Um, that's insane. The only thing I can imagine is just like what, like, at least there was life before that point so that there's a functioning that can occur. If someone were born with that on both sides, I don't know if they could ever do anything,
Oh no. Oh no.
right?
No.
If you were born with that
No.
condition on both sides, you probably just wouldn't be able to make it.
No, you should just die. Sorry, dude.
Man,
It's bad.
man.
Somebody in the chat points out that the reason why this happened to this guy so badly is that when he had the fever, he became delirious and just wandered out into the street and could not be located for treatment.
Hmm.
So it just cooked him. That sucks.
I mean, it's the memento thing, but it's like level 2.
Way worse.
You know, it's like, how do you go further into that? Yeah. Okay. All right, folks.
Awful. Oh,
We'll leave you on that note.
all right. Everybody have a good week. Stay safe out there. Bye.